Now it's time to meet the man behind this extraordinary mission. Please give a warm welcome to the one, the only, Pete Vargas.
Yeah! What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 5. Get your hands up. Let me see. Shake them out, shake them out, shake them out. Christopher, I see you. TN, I see you. Chris, I see you. Stacy, I see you. Lisa, I see you. Sean, I see you. Kayla, I see you. Sharon, Judy, Ginger, Richard. Oh, I say Richard. There's 3 Richards. They all raise their hand. I love it when one name, tackles 3 or 4 people. Chris, good to see you. We've literally have thousands of VIPs that I can see from across the world that are here, and super grateful for day 5. Hey, if this is your first day, you are in the right place. You do not have to have day 4, day 3, day 2, day 1 for day 5 to be impactful. This tour was intended to be in 10 cities in 10 days. And every day was a standalone day. And we were going to go behind the scenes of some of the most powerful platform builders in the world. And each day was going to stand alone. So you didn't have to be at every day. But because of what's happening in this world, we've taken this tour virtual now, and every single day is a standalone day. So if you are here for the first day, write the number 1. I'm asking Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. This is streaming to dozens of different places. If this is your first day, write day 1. If you see someone who says day 1, welcome them. If somebody's in the VIP for the first day and they're day 1, welcome them. If this is your second day, 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day, drop that in the chat too. Drop that in the chat. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm excited for all of our folks here. Remember, every day between now and Monday, we have 7 days, and then a bonus day on the 8th day. Monday is a bonus day. Every day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Put it in your calendar. All live streams and engagement will happen in this Facebook. The main Facebook group is where we're giving out prizes, where we're giving out homework assignments, where we're giving out recaps. You can go to platformcommunity.com or search Platform Community on Facebook. Yes, this is being streamed lots of places, but that is the group where all of everything is going down. So that's like the centralized group, and there's a lot of others happening. And then for all of you that are my Spanish speaking, hats off to Dolores this week for translating in Spanish. We had tens of thousands of Spanish speaking entrepreneurs from across the world join us. Make sure you're at our Advance Your Reach page. Just as a reminder, I'm so excited. We're doing this bigger than we even did last year. We had tens of thousands of English speaking, tens of thousands of Spanish speaking folks register. We're streaming this into our groups that has hundreds of thousands of people. 30 plus of our speakers are streaming this into their pages, their groups, their YouTube channels, their Instagram accounts. We're controlling all of that backstage. And this is bilingual. The reach of this year is millions of people. Millions of people are learning how to build their platform, control the microphone, and change our world. And I'm so excited because every day we have a homework assignment. And today, somebody's going to win some Beats headphones, some strategy sessions. We're going to announce our winners at the end, who went into the group most powerfully and talked about what they were committed to based on what Greg Cardone shared yesterday. We're going to name that at the end, and we will give today's homework assignment. Today's homework assignment. Listen, we are at halftime. We had 4 days complete. We got 4 days left. But let me tell you, we've still got about 65% of our speakers coming to us over the course of the next 4 days. We've got 5 phenomenal speakers today. We've got 7 tomorrow. I will be speaking in Dallas at the Gaylord Texan tomorrow for a company that's built a $500 million platform. They're one of my consulting companies. And so I'm setting up shop there, and several of our speakers will be coming into studio with me from the Gaylord Texan tomorrow, 7 of them. You don't want to miss tomorrow. You don't want any of your friends to miss tomorrow. On Sunday, Tim Tebow and Bethany Hamilton will be with us. I'll be back in this studio on Sunday, sharing what is, to me, the most important day of this tour is Sunday. It's the thing that nobody talks about Nobody teaches, but if you will do these few things that we teach you on Sunday, you will grow the most powerful platform in your niche and in your industry, period. I'm just going to say this. If there were one day I would attend, it's Sunday. I wanted to not do it because that's church day for me. But guess what? We'll have our own little platform tour church day that day. And then Monday, 11 speakers. 11 speakers that are focusing on the most important thing of this tour. You. You are the thing that gets in the way. I am the thing that gets in the way. My thoughts, my health, my relationships either propel me forward or take me backwards. And on Monday, I've asked 11 different people to share the one thing they've done in their personal growth to help them stay grounded so that they could build the biggest platform. You're going to walk away with 11 or 12 nuggets around people of what they've done to take care of themselves. And then last thing is on Tuesday, it's not a day of speakers. I said 90 minutes yesterday. In 60 minutes, I will recap all 40 speakers' nuggets in 60 minutes. That would be the second day I would attend if you've missed any day, because I'll recap it all for you in 60 minutes on Tuesday, and there will be no recordings of Tuesday. Monday and Tuesday, you will have to be here live for those days. The first 7 days, we keep the recordings up for 24 hours, but Monday and Tuesday, you're going to want to be here live with us. You're going to want to be here live with us. Just as a reminder, these 100% of the profits of this tour are going back to charity. 100% of the profits. What's our goal? Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, backstage Spanish speaking, backstage English speaking. What is our goal? $1 million for charity. Last year we raised $750,000. And this year our goal is $1 million plus. And we can only do that with you. I got to tell you something. Grant Cardone made an announcement yesterday that is quite profound. I cannot believe what Grant Cardone announced. I don't know if he announced it to everybody or just to backstage. But I'm going to be talking about that here in about 20 or 30 minutes. 20 or 30 minutes. So make sure on Tuesday, keep your day blocked because we're going to do a recap of every day in 60 minutes. We're going to give you the major takeaways, and we're going to make sure that you implement right away. And we'll have $50,000 of prizes for people who are joining us live that day. People who are joining us live that day. So how do you earn the prizes? Here's how you earn the prizes. Write this down. We will have amazing prizes to lots of you. Every day you're here live counts as a point. We'll get a little tracker posted in the group on Sunday. Every friend that you tag counts as a point. Every day you do the homework assignment counts as a point. And the one that really counts as 10 points is every day that you share this stream with your friends. Yesterday, Gloria Mayfield Banks and Sean Cannell and Stormy Wellington and all of these speakers had a lot of people in those groups sharing this. Well, we had 150 or 160 of you share yesterday in this group. All you have to do is click share now with your friends. This is the biggest needle mover because I am on a mission to help 1 million entrepreneurs build their platforms. And I can only do that is if you do it and if you help others in your life do it. So I hope that you will earn those points and really do this. So I already talked about that. Let me get here. So what is a platform? As a reminder, as we get into today's speakers, a raised or elevated surface on which you take a stand. Which you take a stand. A place where your message, your impact, and your income is amplified for a purpose greater than yourself. That's a platform. And what we've said is we want you to build your platform, which this whole week is all about, so you can control the microphone. The wrong people are controlling the microphone. Do you know why the wrong people are controlling the microphone? Because they've built their platform. When you build your platform, you control the microphone. You take control. But too many of you haven't stepped into that at the level that you should. In 5 short years, I've built a phenomenal platform impacting hundreds of thousands and millions of people's lives this week. That's because I stepped into it. And this week, we're calling you to step into it. And so only 5, like I told you, we've already shared this. We've helped our clients impact hundreds of thousands of lives, almost hundreds of millions of lives, but 72 million in the last 3 years. Our students have generated $500 million in the last 3 years. In the last 3 years, our students. And we've worked with some of the biggest names on the planet. You heard Grant Cardone talk about me very powerfully, but I could give you name after name after name where I have video testimonials of them saying, Pete, you've helped me. But the bigger people that I've helped are I've helped almost 100,000 people that you wouldn't know their name. They would have once been called the best kept secret, but not any longer because they understand how to build their platform. So just as a reminder, I love this video. Bam. That's what happens, poor little boy, when you try to build your platform on one pillar. You try to build a platform on one pillar like so many experts try to tell you, they're telling you a lie or they're telling you good marketing. None of them have built it on one thing. There might be one thing that contributes to a lot, but in order to build a platform, these are the 6 buckets. These are the 6 pillars that you have to have dialed in. You have to have these dialed in, these 6 pillars. And when you do, your message becomes unstoppable and makes a big impact in this world. Lots of revenues, lots of impact. So every day, I'm committed to bringing you a speaker that speaks into all 6 of these pillars. And today is no different. All of those speakers are speaking into those 6 pillars. And today is no different. And so I'm excited about today because here's our speakers today. This first one is Tommy is going to give you clarity on how to set your business up the correct way. Anybody want a couple $1,000s to possibly come back into their pockets in the next 15 minutes? Anybody? Okay, if you didn't raise your hand, you're crazy. Like Tommy's going to help you understand the costly mistakes of business owners not setting their businesses up the right way. And when you do set it up the right way, what does that mean to you? It means savings, tax savings, money, revenues. You've got to get clear on how to set your business up the right way and stop running into these mistakes that most entrepreneurs do. My buddy Chandler Bolt, this is the only guy that I would have bring the noise about getting your book published. Chandler Bolt is going to come share with you how to write your first book and become an author that can scale your business. Unbelievable, dude. I'm going to talk just for a little bit about helping you overcome your mindset around sales and how to build that relationship. We had to fast forward Pedro Adeo to a different day. Vilma Núñez is in the house. I'm so excited. She's going to show you how to sell daily on Instagram organically. Rudy Maurer is going to talk to you about how to actually use paid advertising to get in front of your ideal customers. And Damon John, the shark, the people's shark, my favorite shark, is going to share with you how to build a personal brand. And here's the cool thing. I think all of them, or the majority of them, are going to be backstage, but guess who else is going to be backstage today? Pat Quinn is going to be backstage today in the house. I see the crowd going crazy. And he's going to navigate backstage today because I'm going to be catching an airplane today to Dallas. So this is the lineup for today. We're going to get it started off right away. I know we got our first speaker. I want you to avoid the costly mistakes that entrepreneurs make. I want you to set your business and your platform up the right way. And so for the next 15 minutes, Tommy is going to help you get clear on how to avoid these mistakes and what that means to you. Tommy, take it away, buddy.
Pete, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. Such an awesome opportunity. I'm so excited to be here. I obviously don't have the most exciting topic in the world when I'm talking about asset protection and tax benefits. But on the other hand, clarity is absolutely perfect for me to be able to come in and explain to people the what not to do's of starting your platform and starting your business. So there's been so many powerful takeaways that I have personally had. And a lot of times people are put in your way for a reason. Today is October 15th. It is the tax deadline. And at the end of the day, you don't know what you don't know, right? A lot of the most successful people that have been on this platform dread taxes, but they also strategize very seriously around those taxes. So what I want to be able to come in and do is just give everyone some information, whether you are brand new, just getting started, or if you already have a platform that you're looking to build and scale. I want to give everyone a couple nuggets that I've seen over the years. I've helped over 20,000 entrepreneurs make sure that they are structured properly from the very beginning. So I've put some slides together here just to share with everybody what some of the most costly mistakes are and how you can avoid them, right? That's the whole goal, whether you're just getting started or if you've been doing this for years. So costly mistakes that I've seen over the years by entrepreneurs, and most importantly, how to avoid them, okay? Some of you have probably made these mistakes just like myself, but let's go over the three most common that I deal with on a daily basis. As I talk to people, the number one hesitation that we come across is people saying, I feel like it's too early. I haven't made any money yet. Procrastination to make your business official is one of the biggest mistakes that I've seen over the last 10 years. And the reason that I say that is if you treat something like your platform as a business, you reap the rewards of what businesses have to offer, which are tax benefits, which are allowing yourself the ability to build business credit so that you can scale at the pace that you truly believe that you're capable of growing at. So number one, putting things on the back burner can absolutely kill your business from the beginning or end up taking much longer than is needed. Number two, analysis paralysis, a fun word for overthinking. We've all done it. I've been there. But over the week, one of the most common things that I've heard from some of the most powerful people that have built their platforms is your first idea probably isn't going to be where you end, right? Whatever you think your niche is going to be from the very beginning could continue to change. So from analysis paralysis, from a legal and an entity and a tax setup, do I hire an attorney? Is that going to be expensive? Is it going to be difficult for me to go and structure my business? What are the downfalls or what are the pitfalls that I'm going to run into if I take the jump of actually treating this like a business and an entrepreneur from the very beginning? Overthinking is something that constantly holds people back for being able to take action, get started, execute, like Uncle G said yesterday, and finish the tasks that they actually set out to accomplish. Number three, unfamiliarity with liabilities and tax strategy. I think this is two-part. The first part of being unfamiliar with how to set up your business or the best type of business to structure is it goes back into overthinking, right? At the end of the day, what we're trying to accomplish is asset protection to separate your personal and your business, tax benefits to make sure that the investments that you make into yourself and into your business are tax deductible at the end of the year, so that, like Pete said, that money can come back around to you in the form of taxation, right? Whether it is getting a larger tax return or paying less in taxes, those are great problems to have. So you don't know what you don't know. With that being said, a lot of that comes from tax strategy. Okay. So by a raise of hands here, I'm interested. Those of you that have already invested into yourself this week, how many of you have thought to yourself, I'm doing this because I know it's going to better me as an individual. I know it's going to better my business, but I'm also going to write it off, right? There's probably a lot of hands that are being raised of people that have done this for a long time. For those of you that are just getting started, understand that it starts with the proper foundation, right? A lot of people aren't going to be overnight success. I hope everyone is. But if part of your fear is that I'm not going to generate income tomorrow, understand that you can still show a loss in the first 2 years of your business. So by making sure that you have the proper business entity in place and that you structure yourself so that you are able to treat and operate your platform as a business, it allows you the ability to create credibility and really maximize on deductions that you're going to be able to take advantage of. So I've put together a list here of some of the most common deductions. For those of you that are note takers, feel free to take a picture. Feel free to write some of these down. But for a lot of you, some of these are going to feel like bills, right? Cell phone bills, phone bills, internet bills, power bills, where the mindset has to begin to change at some point, and where a lot of successful entrepreneurs take this list is they look at these as investments, right? Everyone had to pay their internet bill to be a part of this group and to be a part of this platform tour. You are showing the intent to be a business owner. You are showing the intent to spread your message to the world, right? That is the intent to treat this as a business. And if you structure yourself properly from the very beginning, what you're going to do is open the doors to over 250 different deductible expenses that then become tax deductible. Okay. Filming equipment. Who had to buy a new computer? Who had to buy a new iPad? Who had to buy a camera? These are all things that can seem daunting and overwhelming in the beginning to a lot of people. But if you understand the tax savings and how to maximize on those deductions, they're business investments into you, into your business, and into your future, which is obviously from a clarity standpoint, something that's extremely important to remove as much of the fear as possible. Okay. So what do I do? How do I go about it? What are my next steps? In order to avoid a lot of these common pitfalls, all week, every time I tune in, I constantly hear the message of you have to get started. You have to take action, right? Grant yesterday saying you have to execute. In order to finish and in order to get to where you want to be, think bigger, start somewhere. Okay. First and foremost, talk to a professional. Once again, the analysis paralysis of overthinking can be overwhelming and take away from what you're really here to do, and that's spread your message. Your message is going to be best coming from you if you can talk to a professional and understand what is best for your situation. Everyone's situation is different. Allow someone to break that down for you on, once again, the 3 things that we're trying to accomplish. Protect yourself. Separate your personal from your business. Give yourself tax benefits. The investment that you make this week, how can that be 100% tax deductible to be able to come back and recoup a lot of that money come tax time, right? It's a perfect time of year. We're right before the end of the year where you allow yourself the ability to utilize deductions going all the way back to January. Okay. Number 2, form a business as soon as possible. Most of you that are already structured are probably shaking your head at me thinking, I already have a business. Great. I'm happy to hear that. For those of you that don't, treat and operate this like a business. So the investment that you make this week, the internet bill that you paid to be a part of this event is tax deductible at the end of the year. Okay. Number 3, organize and track expenses. I don't want this to take away from your message. I want the message to be the top priority because it truly is. It's what's most important. But along the way, there's going to come a point that as you build and as you grow, you're going to be in a position where taxes are a large expense for you. It's a great problem to have, but the more you can plan for that, whether it's an Excel spreadsheet, whether it's QuickBooks, whether it's pen and paper, start thinking to yourself, what did I spend that is ordinary or necessary for my business? Okay, I'm going to say that again. What is ordinary or necessary for your business? Building your platform, the internet is obviously a necessary expense. Okay, going out to dinner with friends and family and talking to them about what your idea is, about what your message is, about what they watch on all these other platforms. It's not necessary, but it's ordinary. Those are expenses that we want to be able to recoup come tax time as well. So number 4, invest into your future, right? There has been so much value over the last 4 days. There's been so many takeaways that I have personally had, even going back to Sean, talking about YouTube with someone drilling a hole into the wall with 3 million views. Whether it's very simple or whether it's as complex as it can be, invest into your future so you can continue to spread the message long term. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I know I'm pretty limited on time, but once again, I think Mark Twain said it best. Just a quote before I sign off: "The secret to getting ahead is getting started." I think the most important thing you can do from a mindset standpoint is commit to being an entrepreneur. Commit to knowing that your message matters. And if you can treat and operate this as a business as opposed to an individual, you will reap the rewards long term in so many areas that it won't help but benefit your business long term. So that is my message. I hope that provides some clarity. Once again, these are things that I want people to avoid in running out of space, running out of time. Analysis paralysis. Don't overthink it. Know that your message matters. And that's all I got here. Pete, I want to turn it back over to you. Is there anything that I'm missing or anything?
No. Hey, real quick question for you. So back in 2005, I got my LLC set up, my S Corp set up, which was Eternal Ventures LLC. And I'm super grateful that I did because of the amount of just tax advantages and a lot of the savings that I got as a result of that. So when people are structured, like really quickly, what's the structure you recommend and what's the impact that can make on somebody's business? Can you just speak to that in about a minute?
For sure. Awesome. Thank you for that. There's so many different types of entities. If you're just getting started, a lot of times an LLC is going to be the easiest form because it keeps it simple, it keeps it easy, right? But as you mentioned in 2005, and as you started to generate income throughout that year, you probably switched to an LLC taxed as an S corporation or an S corporation, because that allows you to then pay yourself a salary, a distribution. A lot of times you can cut the savings down by having an S corp instead of an LLC. It saves you 7 to 8% of your gross income right off the bat. That is huge savings as you start to generate income. But both LLCs and S corps are awesome. They both flow through to keep things simple, and they still allow you to maximize on your deductions, like the slide I had with some of the common deductions that we see.
Dude, I love that. Guys, will y'all give it up for Tommy? Will y'all give it up for Tommy? Give it up for Tommy. Listen, this is why this is important to me. And guys, we can come up to the slides. This is why this is important to me. I got set up the right way out of the gates. 7 to 8%. Like, just think about every $100 putting $7 or $8 back in your pocket. Like, that's a big deal. When you're not set up the right way, you don't have the protection you need, nor the tax advantages and the tax breaks that you deserve as an entrepreneur, business owner, and so on. So question for you, does anybody, I'm just curious, if you have nothing set up, LLC set up or S Corp set up, I'm just curious, Be honest with me. I want to know in the chat. I'm just got some LLCs, and for some of you, it could be time for an S corp. Nothing. Okay, none, nothing. Okay, yeah. Setting yourself up correctly is really, 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 really important. That's part of building your platform. That's part of building your platform. Like real talk. I pay Uncle Sam back everything Uncle Sam is supposed to get. But I also want to make sure that ways that allow me to grow my platform because of the tax advantages and the things that I can get as an entrepreneur are there. And 98 to 99% of entrepreneurs don't quite understand this topic. And I want to make sure that you guys are set up correctly. All right, our next speaker, and I'm really excited about him. This guy is an incredible friend. He's been in my home. His parents have been in my home. I think the world of him, and I really do believe, and so much so that this year in 2022, my team is focused on us writing my first book and releasing it at the beginning of 2023. And we're talking about all of that right now, but a book is an incredible thing to allow you to communicate your message to the world. You can communicate your message through your signature talk, Pat Quinn, your content, Ray Higdon, but also your book. And so I'm curious, in the chat, how many books have you written so far? How many books have you written so far? Let's see, 13, wow. Look at all of the zeros. But yet, I think 85% of people want to be able to write a book. So I'm excited. YouTube, Facebook, Backstage, Instagram, everywhere, Spanish speaking, English speaking. Would you guys welcome to the stage Mr. Chandler Bolt? Give it up for Chandler Bolt.
Hey, what's happening, everyone? Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. And see me and where you're tuning in from. We're going to get started. I'm excited to be here with you today. I'm in a new spot, so you'll have to pardon. I got a kind of a not my normal setup and just a little bit of background noise. So hopefully you don't hear that. Hopefully that's not too bad. And I'm trying something different today, which is no slides. Which, as you guys know, if you've done talks, it's like being a musician and not having your guitar. It's just like it's your comfort zone. But I'm going to go no slides today so that I can see you, so I can see your chat. And we're going to keep this short and punchy. So I was 17 years old and my dad handed me this book. This book is called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. How many of you guys have read this book? Okay, life-changing book. And when my dad handed me this book at 17 years old, it introduced me to a few concepts that I now wholeheartedly believe. The first one is a really big one, and that's that books change lives. That book changed my life forever. It changed my life. How many of you have had your life changed by reading a book? Right? Probably almost everyone here. So books change the lives of readers, right? When they read this book, right? But also books change the life of authors. I run a company called Self-Publishing School. We help people write and publish books. We run a company that helps people publish books, but I really believe that we run a company that's a personal development company and we change lives through books, right? We always say it's not about the book, it's about who you become in the process of writing and publishing that book, right? So my dad handed me this book. It changed my life. It showed me I wanted to run my own business one day. And it also introduced me to this concept of passive income. Which was pretty exciting, but then I realized, hold up, I don't have $40,000 to put down on a duplex at 17 years old. So went off to school and learned how to run a business, to try and learn how to run a business, right? Now, pretty quickly, I discovered I was learning how to run a business from professors who had never ran a business. And that didn't make too much sense to me, so I decided to drop out. Now, right before I dropped out, I wrote and published my very first book. Okay. This was kind of about the same time. I remember a friend, he asked me, he said, "Hey, Chandler, I heard that you published this book. I heard that it's doing pretty well. Question for you, is the book actually making any money? Like, books don't make money, right?" And I thought for a second and I said, you know what? Actually, yes. The book made $400 yesterday while we were snowboarding. But even more than that, it was the ability to do work once, right? I did work once. I created this book, and that book went out into the world, and it started making an impact. It started growing my income, bringing in a few $1,000s a month. And it was the jumping off point for my business and for my platform, right? And so I just kind of learned from this experience that books change lives. And it introduced me to this concept I now call leveraged impact, right? It's the ability to do work once, and then that you create this book, right? And then this book goes out and creates an impact. It boosts your authority. The root word of authority is author, right? It's hard to become an authority without first becoming an author, and it builds your platform, right? There's a reason, when Michael Hyatt and Stu way back in the day created like kind of the first version of platform, they wrote and published a book called Platform, right? To create that membership program. And that's exactly what I did with Self-Publishing School in a similar way. So it's a jumping off point for your platform and for your business. So I'm going to break this presentation into 3 parts. All right. And I want you to grab a piece of paper. All right. Grab a piece of paper, a blank sheet of paper. You're going to actually make some progress on your book in the next 15 minutes. All right. You're going to leave here with progress on your book. So grab a blank sheet of paper. That'll come in handy in just a little bit. All right. So number 1, I'm going to talk about self-publishing versus traditional publishing. Pros and cons, which one should you choose? Number 2, we're going to talk about how to come up with an idea in as little as a weekend and write a draft in as little as a weekend, which you're probably thinking, Chandler, you're crazy, or that sounds crazy because it is. But I'll walk you through a little bit of a process here that'll speed it up. And then number 3, I'll walk you through kind of some fundamentals of launching the book. All right, so let's start with self-publishing versus traditional publishing. And so, it used to be that the only way you sold books was to get into bookstores, right? That was where people bought books. And the only way to get into bookstores was to have a publishing deal. The only way to have a publishing deal was to have an agent. All of these gatekeepers and middlemen keeping you from ultimately selling books and getting published, right? Well, now 70% of all books sold are sold on Amazon, and you don't need a publisher to publish on Amazon, right? But there's 2 or 3 other main differences. Okay, so if you self-publish, you're going to make higher royalty rates. It's going to cost you less in the long term, and you're going to save a whole lot more time, right? Instead of taking years, you can get it done faster. You publish, you have control. You can get leads, sales, referrals for your business, like all of those things, right? So for 99.9% of authors, it makes more sense to self-publish. The only time it makes sense to traditionally publish is if you can get a big book deal, you've got a massive audience, you can get an advance, all that stuff. Otherwise, it's going to make more sense to self-publish. All right, so that's number 1. Now, number 2, how do you actually write this thing? Right. Well, first you got to have an idea, and then you can get started in the writing process. Okay. So I want to do a quick poll here. How many of you know what you want to write about? If that's you, type in the chat, I have an idea. How many of you aren't quite sure what you want to write about? If that's you, type not sure. And then how many of you have too many ideas? All right. If that's you, type too many ideas in the chat. So not sure, I have an idea, or too many ideas. In the chat here, I see Tumia says, I have an idea. Oscar says, not sure. Jeanne has an idea. Hattie has an idea. We got a bunch of people with too many ideas. Cassie, Nicole, Yolanda have an idea. Okay, awesome. So we're kind of all over the map. This is great. So I'll break this into 2 parts. Part number 1 is the idea finder, is what I call it. All right. And so this is really just 2 or 3 questions to ask to come up with an idea. All right. So question number 1, what do you do for work, or what business do you run? Right. Almost all of us are knowledge workers, meaning we get paid to do a job or run a business for knowledge in our head. And that knowledge is a really great book. If I were to try to do what you do today with no prior experience, there would be a gap between where I'm at and where you're at from your years or decades of experience. In that gap is a really great book, right? If you run a business, if you have a platform, what are the broken record conversations that you keep having over and over and over again with every new client or prospect, right? The best way to stop talking about it is to write a book on it and then point to that book. And that book will be the best thing you've ever done to grow your business. right? Because it preemptively brings in leads, sales, referrals, counters, objections, all those things, right? So that can kind of get the ideas flowing. Maybe you're writing fiction, or maybe you could write something. Hey, what are you passionate about? Like, there's a lot of things to kind of get ideas flowing. But what about if you got too many ideas? Right? A lot of people it's like, man, I've got 3 or 4 books. Which one do I write first? Right? Well, I want you to ask yourself, if you're in that camp, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. And as soon as you narrow in on one idea, I want you to type one idea in the chat. Okay. So question number 1, which one can I finish a rough draft for the fastest? All right. Question number 2, which one am I most likely to finish? All right. And then question number 3 is, which one's going to help me grow my platform? All right. So it's got to be aligned with the thing that you're trying to build, right? If you want the book to truly be one of the best things that you've ever done to grow your platform. So ask yourself those 3 questions. And once you've got, hopefully that kind of helps narrow down. And once you've got one idea, type the phrase "one idea" in the chat. All right. And then while you're doing that, I want you to reach for your piece of paper. All right. So if you got a piece of paper, blank sheet of paper, looks something like this. I want you to grab that and then comment in the chat. I have a piece of paper. If you got some paper and a pencil or a pen. All right, let's see. We've got a bunch of people with one idea. Love it. Thank you, Terrell, Danny. Awesome. Love it. All right. Karina, Jeanne, Makina. All right. So grab your paper and we're going to make a little bit of progress on your book. Okay. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to write your one idea in the middle of the page. All right. Your one idea in the middle of the page. It should look a little something like this. All right. So you got a little bubble in the middle of the page with your one idea. All right. And then step number 2, and I'm going to actually give you a minute to do this. Okay. So we're going to have a little bit of uncomfortable silence. It's going to be fun. We're going to work on our mind maps. Okay. So part 2, I want you to take 2 minutes right now to mind map everything that you can think of on this topic. How many of you have heard of a mind map? Right? Pretty much everyone. This is not a new concept. What's new is using it. All right. So we're going to actually work on your mind map. So a mind map is just a brain dump. It's going to look something like this of all the ideas for your book. Right? I'm working on a book right now. This is my mind map. All right. I finished a chapter this morning. All right. So 2 minutes on the clock. I want you to mind map everything that you can think of on this topic. Okay. So what are the stories that you have? What are the lessons that you've learned? Right, on this topic? What are those broken record conversations? 2 minutes on the clock on your mark, get set, go. All right, great work, guys. Keep going. Keep going. No filter. Stories that you have, lessons that you've learned, ideas, other books that you've read, broken record conversations. Go about 1 more minute. Final thoughts. Got 15 more seconds. If you made progress so far, comment in the chat. Let me know. 5, 4, 3, 2, one and pencils down. Just kidding. Hey, how many of you made progress? If you made progress, type in the chat, I made progress. You're on your way to completing step number 1 in the 3-step writing process that I teach. Okay. Step number 1 is to create a mind map. Step number 2 is to turn that mind map into an outline. All right. And then step number 3 is to write the book 1 chapter at a time. All right. And so it looks like we got a bunch of people made progress here. Awesome. Elisa, Jeanne, Tara, Shiva. Awesome. Faye, Carrie, Ann, Nancy. Okay. Good news, bad news. Good news is it looks like a bunch of you made progress. Bad news is this takes more than 2 minutes to do this. All right. And so what I'd encourage you to do is take 15 minutes as soon as today's sessions are over or tonight before you go to bed and try and finish your mind map. Okay. How many of you can commit to that? If you can, type in the chat, I'm committed. All right. I promise when you take a little bit more time on this mind map, it's going to make the whole writing process easier because now you see it. Right. By the way, this works when you're creating a talk. This works when you're creating just about any type of content. This is going to be really, really helpful. All right. And Shiva says, this really helped, Chandler. Awesome. Jeff says, progress, baby. Love it. And we got a bunch of people committed. All right. Awesome. Great work. Okay. So we've made progress, which by the way, I donated a couple products to if you purchase, I think it's like the All Access Pass or something as part of this platform tour. If you purchase that, I've got this book outline challenge that's super, super helpful. Okay. It's going to take you from idea to outline done in 24 hours. That's a part of that included for free, as well as a social media for authors training. That's part of that. So both of those should be helpful, but that one will specifically help you make additional progress on this. All right. And so let's move into step number 3 here, which is marketing your book successfully. All right. So I dropped out of school. My book is doing well. I'm thinking, look out world, here I come. I'm going to be an overnight success. Right. I had a friend one time, he's a mentor. He said, Chandler, it takes 10 years to become an overnight success. I found that to be true because what actually happened when I dropped out is about 18 months later, all of my bank accounts were negative. And I borrowed $15,000 from friends and family to try and get my business off the ground. It wasn't working. So I went to a couple of mentors and I said, hey, what am I doing wrong here? And they gave me some advice that I know Pete loves to give as well and is totally in agreement with. They said, Chandler, you got to learn to be friends with Sam. And I said, who the heck is Sam? And they said, it's sales and marketing. You've got to learn sales and marketing. And I said, well, there's only one problem. I don't like sales and marketing. Right. And they said, well, it doesn't matter if you like it, you've got to learn it. Whoo, man. It doesn't matter if you like it, you've got to learn it. All right. And I found this to be true when it comes to marketing anything, right? And especially your book is it doesn't matter if you like it, but you've got to learn it. No one's going to market your book for you. No one's going to care about your book as much as you do, right? So you got to learn to market it. The one thing that I'll recommend that works better than anything else is to create a launch team. Okay. Now a launch team, it's a small group of people who help support your book. This could be 5 people. It could be 15 people. It could be 50 people, right? Now they're going to get a free digital copy of the book in advance. And what they're going to do is they're going to leave a review on day 1, right? So if you do nothing else, just do this, create a launch team. This is going to help you get reviews out of the gates. It's so important. And then I'll give you one more tip. Okay. So people say, don't judge a book by its cover, right? But we all judge books by their cover. You need to have a good one. All right. I'm working on an updated and revised version of this book. That's why the corner's cut off. But a good cover needs to have 3 things. It needs to grab attention. This is the billboard for your book, right? And the title needs to be easy to read, and your prospects need to instantly understand what the book's about and whether or not it's for them, right? So what do you think this book's about? It's about how to publish a book. Right. So you need a cover that grabs attention. So those are the 2 things I'll teach on marketing. All right. So we've talked about 3 things. We talked about number 1, self-publishing versus traditional publishing. Which one should you choose? Pros and cons. Number 2, we talked about coming up with an idea. We made some progress on our mind maps. Great work. We got people committed to finishing their mind maps tonight or as soon as this thing's over for the day, and whatever time it is in the world where you're at. And then we talked about successfully launching your book. All right, so a couple of steps there, okay? So a couple resources that'll help. I've got the Book Outline Challenge and the Social Media for Author program. When you guys upgrade to the All Access Pass as part of the platform tour, you will get access to that. So definitely do that. And I recommend those resources. That'll be super helpful to help you get started. And then if you're like, hey, I want to move faster, I want to do all that stuff, feel free to book a call with my team at self-publishingschool.com/platform. We'd be happy to chat with you about your book, your next steps, your goals, all that stuff. All right. I'll leave you with this. The legendary Zig Ziglar has a quote. He says, if you wait for all the lights to turn green before leaving home, you'll never get started on your journey to the top. All right. So when it comes to whether it's building your platform, whether it's and I loved, just right before this, he mentioned this as well, is taking action, right? And so people think that there's going to be this magical time where they got no job, no kids, no responsibilities, no business, and that's when they're going to write their book. Like writing a book is a maybe next year thing. It's a maybe someday thing, right? But they never do it. Well, guess what? If you wait for all the lights to turn green, you'll never get started. You're going to have to get started before you're ready. The timing's never right. So get started now, and I hope this helps. Thank you.
Right, all right. Chandler Bolt, everybody. Chandler Bolt, hey, check your text message and just let me, maybe text me back, Chandler. So don't say anything here. Hey, let's keep Chandler up for a second here. See, Bolt, we're raising a lot of money for, can we bring Chandler back up, guys? We're raising a lot of money for charity, and I hear next year, the crew backstage next year is like, man, we need to get Need to Breathe as part of the tours. I hear they have a charity, bro. If y'all didn't know, Chandler's brother is part of Need to Breathe, which is an incredible band. And but do they have a charity? Is that true?
My brother, so basically, there's a couple things. There's Need to Breathe, and they have Bolt Farm Tree Houses, and they have Need to Breathe for Others. Which Need to Breathe for Others, basically, they're on tour right now. I'm going to see them next week. So basically, they created a local nonprofit where money donated at the show goes to that local, it's a national nonprofit, but it gets donated locally. It's called Need to Breathe for Others.
Dude, that's amazing. Well, we might need to chat about that, bro, and super grateful to have you on today. So important to get a book.
And I'm happy to do that, what you texted me about.
Cool, I'm about to let them know that. So guys, give some love to Chandler Bolt. Give some love to Chandler Bolt. Hey, listen, I've got like 7 surprises before we need to bring our next speaker up. So this is what I want to do. Chandler, I was backstage listening, and I'm going to be calling Chandler so I can actually have conversations about my book as well. But I want you guys to see something. So Chandler talked, let's go back to Chandler here for a second. What I want you to know is, not Chandler, his slide, sorry, my bad. Let's go back to the slide right here. What I want you to know is Chandler talked about a powerful way to get your message out to the world, which is your book. Pat talked about a signature talk. A signature talk, your content, your book, all bring customers in. They all bring customers in. And when you get your book done, the piece that Chandler didn't go too deep in is it gets really easy now to create your product because you have your book outlined and you can create your product. But what I want to talk about before we bring up our next speaker is I want to talk about the bucket of revenues. The greatest framework to creating revenues is what I want to talk about for a quick second. And Chandler, he didn't steal my thunder, but he actually led me in very well to revenues. Because what I want you to know is green is revenues. Green is revenues. And if you can wrap your brain around this, Zig Ziglar on day one, Zig Ziglar's son, or Zig Ziglar wrote a quote, said, "I've never changed someone's life with speaking, but when they buy my products, I got a shot at changing their lives." He knew that his products would change people's lives. And when people buy your products, i.e. revenues, that's what changes their life. And so what I want you to know is it is time for all of you to marry Sam. And some of you right now aren't even engaged to Sam. You haven't even gotten engaged to Sam. And some of you haven't even taken a first date with Sam because you're scared of Sam. You're scared of Sam. And actually, I should have put that in red because red is not what you want. You know, you're scared of Sam. You don't have the green. You've got the red. You're afraid. And so therefore, you never move the needle with your products and services because you're scared. And some of you might be saying, marry Sam. Yeah, I'm married to Sam. I'm in love with her. I mean, we connect every single day. We connected on my ride over here. And a lot of you, you've heard me say this. Personally, I'm married to Kim. In my personal life, 20 years of marriage to my wife. We will hit our 20-year anniversary on July 4th. Thank you for those comments. I appreciate that. We have 4 beautiful kids. But professionally, I'm married to Sam, sales and marketing. And the reason why people are scared of sales and marketing is because they think it has to be sleazy. Grant Cardone, about 6 weeks ago, made a comment that there is nobody like Pete Vargas that understands how to do this in a profound way that doesn't turn people off. Well, I want to give you my framework today. Because if you can understand this framework, revenues is what drives your message being heard by the world. Grant yesterday said Joel Osteen couldn't pack the Miami Marlins Stadium. And he's like, he's up to big things. Joel Osteen is on TV, radio. He's everywhere. Why? Because he has revenues. That stuff doesn't magically happen. The television stations, the radio stations, the ads, they don't give that to you stuff for free. You have to have revenues to have more reach. So how do I do it? The first thing is you got to overcome your fear. Do you believe what you have to offer the world can change their lives? Yes or no? And if you put yes, great. If you put no, great. If you got a question mark, great. Yes or no? Do you believe that your life's experiences, your story, what you have to offer can change people's lives? That's how you start by overcoming Sam, is your conviction. The same conviction that you talk about the restaurants or the products or the jewelry or the cologne or the massage therapist or the facial or all of these different things that you just rave about because I see you. It's like, you gotta get this product. It's amazing. You gotta go eat at this restaurant. It's amazing. The biggest issue that I had coming in is I had the issue of not being deeply convicted that I could change people's lives. So therefore, revenues were not coming into my door because I was not married to Sam. You have to establish a conviction that you are making a difference in people's lives, their businesses, their relationships, and then all of a sudden, the fear of Sam goes away because it's no longer about sales and marketing, it's about service. And you've got a moral obligation to reach everybody because if you know that you can make a difference in their life, Zig Ziglar's son Tom said you tell everybody they have a moral obligation to make sure that everybody knows about it because they're coming from this place. So this is what I want you to establish over the next 12 months. And if you choose to take advantage of what we've talked about this weekend, it's going to go a lot quicker. How do you date Sam? You date Sam. Let me get that marker out of here. By having one sales and marketing strategy producing income in your business. There's dozens and dozens and dozens of strategies out there, maybe over 100. You can have a funnel, you can do paid ads, you can do organic Instagram that Vilma's about to talk about. You can do a lot of things. You can do content marketing, you can do phone calls. I mean, you saw Chandler talk about phone calls. Like, you can do all of that. You've got to get one. And then you start dating Sam, and you're like, wow, I like this. This is cool. One strategy that's actually producing revenues. And then to get engaged, you got to do 2 strategies that are producing revenues. And then when you begin to get married to Sam, it's when you have 3 strategies that are producing revenues. And now you have predictable revenues coming in, and you are madly in love with Sam. Our company has somewhere in between 7 to 10 different strategies that are producing revenues to grow our platform. Meaning I don't stop falling more in love with her because I have a moral obligation because of the difference that I can make in this world. Some of you today are scared, and you got to get that deep conviction of what you have to offer, because when you get that deep conviction, you no longer become scared. You know you have a moral obligation. Moral. Morals. Moral. That's how serious I am about this. So my question to you today, that's all I have. Like, I didn't want to take a long time today. My question to you on this is, how many sales and be honest with me. I want you to put the word Sam -0, -1, -2, -3, -4. How many sales and marketing strategies do you have? Write that in the chat right now. I'm going to play this quick 1.5-minute video, and I will be back with some unbelievable surprise news. So hold on for 1.5 minutes. I'm excited about these 7 days. We have never, ever, ever done something like this before. And to think that it's free is incredible. Just like last year, 100% of the profits will be going back to some amazing charities. Last year we gave over $750,000, and this year we are hoping to double that to some amazing charities like SCORE, which is building one of the biggest Black and Latino educational programs that is free of charge to business owners to give them the education they need to grow their business. To the Maloof Foundation, who is helping end sex trafficking in the United States. And to the Model Citizen Fund, which is providing backpacks with hundreds of items to the homeless in our country. You see, you being a part of this, we're not just going to build your platform this week, we're going to build those nonprofits' platforms as well.
By giving back, you rightly receive so much, thousands in value to build your platform. Our Bronze package contains powerful, proven digital resources to accelerate your growth. Our Silver package includes everything from Bronze, plus additional resources to supercharge your development using all our pillars to grow your platform. And our top-of-the-line Gold package includes tens of thousands in resources from all of the geniuses who grace our stages. We want you to change the world. Everything you need is right here.
What I want you to know is, just like last year, 100% of the profits of your contribution go back to these charities. So not one penny of that profit is coming back to me. So would you get into that mindset of just a generosity to give back and help build somebody else's platform? Because I can tell you, in these 7 days, what's going to happen for your business and your platform will be profound. The people that I have brought to this year to help you go to the next level, it's unbelievable. You see, there is so much negativity, so much divisiveness, so much fear happening in our world, and the wrong people control the microphone. And the only way that we change the game is by helping you build your platform so you can control the microphone and change your world. And when enough of us are changing our worlds, we change the world. Would you join us? Build your platform, control the microphone, and change your world. All right. Before I bring our next speaker up, which will be in about 3 minutes here, I've got some big announcements. So obviously, You guys are very familiar. These are it's actually over $30,000. We can't even have time to change it. This is the PhD bundle on building your platform. The majority of speakers have included one of their courses, not a lead magnet, one of their courses. These are courses or live masterclasses that go for $197, $297, $497, $997. Some of them go for $2,000 in the market. And they've bundled them in because they want to help you build your platform, and simultaneously they know all of the profits are going back to building these nonprofits platforms. And so I want you to know this. On Sunday, the prices of these are all going up, because we have doubled the value since we shot that video. Doubled the value. You get a ticket to our platform live. Actually, I want to show this to you in a more powerful way here in just a second. But there's bronze, there's silver, and there's gold. Bronze, silver, and gold. In a few weeks, you will get access to everything, to all of these speakers and their products. All of the speakers and their products, all of the speakers, 36 different resources that becomes your lifetime digital library to build your platform. Lifetime. I'm letting you know this because I've got a moral obligation to let you know this. You won't ever be able to see something like that again. You'll be able to see one of my products because I launch it every year and it's one product. Or you might see some of their products launch once a year because it's their products. It's all of these. This will move the needle for you building your platform. And for a few $100s, each of the 3 ticket levels, and I haven't said this, get a ticket to Platform Live. Bronze, you get that in the silver, you get that in the gold. Why is this important? Because at Platform Live, we're going to build your customized strategic plan for you that's relative to you and not somebody else. And on November 12th, we will issue all of the checks from Platform Live to all of the charities that day, like we did last year, and you will see them cry and celebrate in front of us. So not only will you build your plan, you will see us award all of the money live in front of you, and then you will have the digital library of resources to start based on the plan that we build with you at Platform Live. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable what our speakers have done. And so the bronze is $497, the silver is $997, the gold package is $1997. We have a 2-pay option. All of these prices go up on Sunday, and the packages go away on Wednesday because the speakers cannot keep them open-ended forever because these are products they sell day in and day out. All of the profits back to charity. You go to platformtourcares.com, platformtourcares.com. Kat, I'll bring that up on the back end, I think, now. Now, here is something cool that I want to say. Grant Cardone texts me this morning, and he said, Pete, I got to throw in something. He has got a course called Marketing Mastery. Marketing Mastery. How many want to learn how Grant does marketing? How many people want to know how Grant does marketing? Pedro Adeo, Steve Weatherford, Sean Cannell all hit me up afterwards. They're like, dude, Grant dropped some nuggets. Well, Grant didn't just drop nuggets. Grant said, I want to include a marketing mastery course that we sell for $1,000 at Cardone, $1,000 for this one course. And I want to include it. And so my team is including it in the silver and gold packages. Holy beep. Like, seriously. He included that. I'm fired up about it. And here's the other thing. This is crazy, 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 crazy. I don't know if he said this front stage or he said it backstage. So guys, help me out. Did he tell us front stage or backstage? Grant said, like, look, I've never had sirens. Great call on that, team. We've never had sirens on this. We got backstage. Grant was so motivated by your comments. He said, you know what I want to do, Pete? You're coming out to MC my charity event where we will award the check. He's one of our charities. We'll award his check. I'm emceeing it on November 20th. He said, you know what? Why don't you get a table, 4 people, 10 people, you can distribute those 10 however you want, at a VIP table, and you can bring those 10, and during the day, I'm gonna take them up in my helicopters over Miami and in the region of, it's right there, the beautiful water, and we're gonna give them a private tour on our helicopters of Miami. He flew me in his helicopter from Miami to the Nassau, Bahamas, and it was one of the greatest experiences of my life to see God's beauty in this helicopter that is not a helicopter, it's like a private plane. So he gave me 10 of those. I said, Grant, is it okay if I host a mastermind that day and have those 10 or 20 people that we give that we award that to, that I can do a mastermind? He's like, yeah, you can definitely do a mastermind, and we'll do the helicopter rides, and then we'll conclude it with my charity event that night. So not only am I gonna host a mastermind for 10 to 20 people, and we'll announce how only bronze, silver, and gold people will be the only ones to qualify for those 10 spots. And we'll talk about that next week, but you have to be bronze, silver, or gold to qualify. Not only are we gonna host those 10 to 20 in a mastermind and experience that day, I'm also going to make that mastermind on November 20th available virtually for every bronze, every silver, and every gold package. So although you might not be one of the 10, as long as you're contributing back into your investment and your mind today, you will be with us there virtually for the mastermind component, not the helicopter component. I might take you on the helicopter with me virtually so you can see us loading it, but you will be there for the mastermind component, which will be a follow-up to the plan that you had built for building your platform. We'll do a follow-up mastermind to make sure that 2022 is the greatest freaking year ever. That's gonna be the theme of the mastermind, making 2022 the greatest year ever. So 10 will be there in person, going on the helicopters with me. My son asked me, can I go, Dad? But everybody who invests in bronze, silver, and gold will be there virtually with me. And that's what qualifies you for one of the 10 spots. I could not believe he did that yesterday. I'm blown away. And there we go. That is it. That's the actual helicopter that I rode to the Bahamas in. And I'm telling you, we're gonna make it experiential. It's not about the helicopter. It's about an experience that you will be able to have. So make sure, go to platformtourcares.com today. Oh, by the way, either in the silver or gold package, you're gonna see a sales and marketing intensive that we did this year that literally helped people build out their SAM plan, and folks paid thousands of dollars to be at that sales and marketing intensive. You're gonna get the recordings of it. That's either in the silver or gold package. If you go to platformtourcares.com, you will see all that's in bronze, all that's in silver, all that's in gold. And I know there's some of you saying, Pete, you've only talked about this for a minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes the few days before. Why are you talking about it for 10 minutes? Because I'm telling you, if you don't make this decision, not for the charities, for yourself, you're making a mistake. Because this is the PhDs of building your platform. It's literally the PhD to you building your platform. And you've got the opportunity of a lifetime to not only make an investment in yourself, but also knowing that the profits are going back to 7 unbelievable charities. So I had to be a little bit more bold about it because I know next Wednesday, it's not fake scarcity. Next Wednesday, all of those products go back to all of the different speakers that will start selling them as one-off products again. But I've gotten them bundled this week, and prices of those go up Sunday. On Wednesday, they go away. So I want to bring up our next. Thank you, Grant, for that. Thank you so much. And I know Velma's probably like, I want to be in the helicopter. I live in Miami. I want to be there. I called friends. I had friends calling me last night. Friends saying, I want to be in the copter with you. I want to be at that charity event with you. Tell me what it takes to be there. I literally had my phone blowing up last night and this morning. I told my team that was one of the most generous things that somebody could ever give. My hope was this week, somebody backstage like Sarah Blakely or whoever, not just Sarah, whoever. I was hoping one of our celebrities would be like, I want to do this to help you guys raise more money. Like that was my hope. I was hoping like one of the days that would happen, but I wasn't going to ask any of our celebrities because the fact that they gave up our time this week, their time to help you build your platform was enough for me. So when Grant did that yesterday, I was blown away, and I want to continue to move forward. We've got 3 more amazing speakers. We've got Vilma, who I love and adore her and her husband so much, a beautiful couple. We've got Rudy, and we've got the shark, Damon John. Make sure that you go to platformtourcares.com because the sooner you get in, the sooner you will be backstage with us every single day. And folks, backstage yesterday was so freaking epic. So I'm excited because Vilma is going to talk about the stage of Instagram, and then she's going to be talking about how you actually create and sell on Instagram, the revenues bucket. So she's tackling our stages and our revenues bucket. I met this lady a few months ago, literally just so grateful for her and her husband. Thousands and thousands of people are attending this event because of Vilma. If you're here because of Vilma, write the word Vilma in the chat. I'm so excited to have her joining us today. Will y'all give it up for my friend, Vilma Núñez? Vilma, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm super excited. Well, thank you, Pete, for this amazing experience. Can you hear me?
I can. I'm so glad to have you. That's a pretty cool gift from Grant, huh?
Yes, I was surprised. That's amazing.
Well, hey, listen, take it away. I'm excited for you to teach today.
Okay, perfect. So thank you for this opportunity. English is not my first language, I have to tell you. It's not even my second. Actually, it's my third language, but I'm passionate about what I'm going to be talking today. And it is how you can get daily sales with Instagram while you are helping others. So let me tell you something. Instagram, it is the best channel right now to get sales. Of course, email marketing, is gonna be the first one. Can I see the slide? I'm not seeing the slide moving. Just let me double check. Okay, wait. Oh. Let me do it again because it is important. Okay, now you're getting it? Yes, as I was telling you, Instagram, it is the best place right now to get sales and help another person. So let's just begin with 2 big strategies on Instagram. No, it's not sharing. It's not working, right? I'm in the third slide. No, I'm doing right. Like, okay, but it's not passing. No, I'm sorry, this is not working. So, yes.
Hey, you're okay. Take your time. You're good to go. Don't shoot.
I don't know what happened. We did the test and it was great. So I'm just gonna pass to my team the PDF so they can make it happen.
And I can see your slide, but it looks like it's downloading.
I know. Yes, but just let me try something. This way is working. Yes, just let's do it this way. It doesn't matter. I can do it. Okay, now I have it. So I just want to share with all of you 2 different strategies that you can implement like right away today. So the first strategy is going to be the social self pitch for Instagram stories. You can use this pitch to sell product from $15 to even thousands of dollars, like a high ticket service maybe. But before we get into the methodology, let's talk about what is your positioning right now in your market. So let me ask you a question. Why do your followers are following you today? Because sometimes it is our fault that they don't know what we are selling, what we are doing, because we are not publishing the stuff behind the curtain. For example, I just did a story before, like, I'm here just about to start. Those are the kind of stuff that we need to do. So I have like a quick challenge for you so you can do right away with me. You can open your Instagram stories and just let's ask to your audience one simple question. Let's do it. So the question is going to be, and the story is going to be like this. Why will you hire me? Just put it here in the box. Once you have this question, you will get a lot of answer, but there's 2 things that could happen. Maybe the answer that you got, you don't like it. And that's on you. That's on me, for example, if I don't like what they put on the box, because I'm not using the right keywords. I'm not using the right content plan. Or maybe they are telling you the things that you want to listen. So keep doing your job. But if you're not happy with the result, you just need to implement a new content plan. And lucky for you, I'm going to show you how you can do it today. So that's my first challenge for you. The next one is, what is the real value of what you're selling? Because we need to get that in mind always. For example, every time that I'm selling a course, even selling my service as a speaker, I really need to know what is the value. For example, I can help people make money with Instagram. I can help people reduce the cost of what they are selling. But it's important to have this on mind. This is a graph from Bain & Company. It is amazing to take the time to look even more deeper on this, because once you know the value of what you're selling, you have like a lot of work done. The next thing that I want to share, it is our rainbow template, so we can create an irresistible offer. Every time that we are selling something, it's not about like putting together like a mix and that's it. No, for example, let's say that I want to sell an Instagram course, right? I want to create an irresistible offer. So I can add, for example, a workbook about copywriting and storytelling. I can add a Facebook group support for community, or I can even have like Instagram and Canva template so I can help even more my clients. But let me tell you something, it's not only about getting like different elements in your offer. Like, for example, you want to buy this cover, I'm going to give you free shipping. That's a different element. That's the reason that we call it rainbow template. But also, a lot of people don't talk about this, but every time that you see an ad on Instagram and Facebook, they are trying to sell to you like a low ticket product. Let me tell you something. They're not going to make money with that. The money is in the back offer. The money is when you provide even more help to the people that are about to buy from you. So this is like the way that we do irresistible offer in our Spanish speaking market. Also, now we are going to be ready to see like the methodology. The methodology for this social sell pitch is going to be this way. So let's imagine that you're going to be launching tomorrow. The first thing that you need to do like today is going to be this story. So guys, I'm super excited. Tomorrow I'm going to be launching our new program. We have been working on this for weeks, so stay tuned. That's it. Nothing else. Well, maybe you can add a countdown, maybe, but nothing else. You just need like an audience waiting for you the next day. So the next day, we are going to create an amazing pitch, just like this one, when you are going to have Matt's 8 stories, okay? Matt's 2 minutes. And you're going to share with people, why are you doing this? For who is the program? Consultants, entrepreneurs, and also all the details, and even like a screenshot with a testimonial. This is the perfect time that you need to sell whatever you want, a digital product, a low ticket product, or even a high ticket program. Once you do that, this is what is going to happen. You're going to get a lot of people interested. And then let me show you the strategy to convert those followers, those strangers into leads and even clients. So once they hit you like, yes, I want information. And they are always asking, what is the price? Remember something. When you are trying to sell in something, the one who is asking the question have the power. So you are the one in charge of asking questions, not them. So the first thing that you're going to ask to them is, great, I'm super happy, I'm excited, but tell me more about your case. Tell me more about your goals. Why you want to do it right now and not next year? So that's the moment that they will expose their cases, situation to you. And then you're going to keep asking questions to them, because we really need to be honest. You need to pre-qualify those leads. You need to know if you really can help them, because telling no to a client today, it is a yes in the future. We are building long relation with our client, but let's imagine that they are a yes. Imagine that you can help them with your program. So you're going to send a voice message. Hey, I know that I can help you. Let me give you the detail for the next steps. First, apply to the form. And here is the best tip ever. You're going to ask them that when they hit the button, they submit the application, they're going to write to you back on Instagram, I did it, because you really want them to commit it with you. That small commitment is going to help you to get to the sale. So those kind of strategy, this kind of methodology are going to give you these results. You're going to get, this was 2 years ago, the first time that I did it. We had been doing this for years, I don't know, 3-4 times every year. The first time I got the amazing opportunity and blessing to help 28 members with 0 ad spend, and you can do it too. I just need you to give you an advice. I just want you to share every day on your Instagram story, what are you doing with your business? So the moment that you implement this methodology, they're going to be open to listen to you and to buy from you. And just in case, okay, you want something easier to get sales right away, I got your back too. I have this. This is super simple. You just need to be focusing who you want to help. Like, give me one buyer persona. For example, I'm looking for entrepreneurs who wants, let me get clear here, only one big result. Give me one big solution that you can provide, only one, not 2 or 3, okay? So I'm looking for entrepreneur who want to get more productive, who want to get more sales. Are you interested? Just hit me at the end with the word CEO. And that's the start of a new conversation that will get in sales. So that was my first strategy. The second one that I'm super excited to share with you, it is Instagram automation. You can use today Instagram automation, a bot, to get more sales, to lead generation, to support, and even for engagement. So this is the way that automation on Instagram works. It is super simple. You just create a word that's gonna trigger an automation. For example, I can use the word CEO, and every time the person brought to me on Instagram the word CEO, they're gonna get an automatic message. For example, in this case, I was sending a link for a free webinar. So I was getting free leads with my Instagram DMs. We started this like 4 months ago because we were in the ManyChat beta. And we have been like getting 3,000 of free leads every month with this automation. But also for me, this automation is very special because every time that a person is tagging me, like on stories, they're gonna get like, thank you for your mention. They're gonna get maybe a wink emoji, and they're gonna write back to me saying, oh my God, you respond. I was like, oh, well, that was my bot. But now I'm Vilma. Thank you for being a follower. So that's the beginning of a new relation, a new conversation. And also, let me tell you, this is the best part about Instagram automation. We can, from Instagram DM, we can get are the email of our lead and send it to our CRM. Can you imagine having this 100% like working every day, every hour, 24/7? This is an amazing opportunity. You can do it with ManyChat. I think they charge $15 a month. So you can start with Instagram automation. This is a game changer on Instagram. A few people are doing this right now. So if you do it, you're gonna get result. And I even have like a gift for all of you that are watching this. So if you wanna try it, Instagram automation, I will get you a gift, okay? You just need to go to Vilma Núñez and send me a DM with the word Vilma1, and I will send you something that my team put together that is 70 Reels ideas, so you never run out of ideas to make a Reel. That is unlimited impression right now. So you can do that now or later, but just to be continued, let me show you a few strategies and tactics that you can implement to design a new content plan and increase your sales. First, and again, ask to your audience. I have 2 questions that you can use. What problem do you have right now? Or another will be, how can I help you? It's not about you, it's about them. The more you help your follower, the more conversion you're gonna get from them. And let me tell you, let me be super honest with you. Don't let the engagement stress you. 3 days ago, Tom did an NFT launch, and I was on his account, and I saw that he had got almost, 2 million followers. And his promotional video only got 11,000 views. But let me tell you something. In the first hour, Tom raised 7 million. And before this talk, I was again to see how much he made already. And it was $16 million. So your engagement is not an indicator of your success or sales on Instagram. And let me tell you something. If you're going to be chasing a metric on Instagram, it had to be impressions. That's the only thing that matters today. Last year, my team and I got almost 200 millions on impression with organic and paid content. So you can have it too, but you need to put valuable content. What is the perfect way to do it? Mixing content, like creating live, IGTV, Reels, video, putting guides, putting infographics, even memes and quotes. They are good for engagement. We need to have a good mix, but we need to share valuable content with our customers. These content examples are what is really working right now on Instagram. Infographics, they are crushing it. Comparison, and also 1 minute video. Only 1 minute you need. I post every day a 1 minute video. My team, they use like Vid.io or Headliner to like add caption, add, this magic effect that help a lot with the conversion. Also, I want to share with you one free tool, InFlat. With this tool, you can have unlimited content ideas, and also you can have ideas for hashtag to get even for more people. And I want to share one more strategy, because the day that my team and I understand this, our conversion skyrocket. It is about headlines. It doesn't matter if it is a video, if it is a guide, an infographic, you need good headliners. So these are our 4 formulas that we use every day. The first one is like the don't. People, they love this kind of stuff. Like, don't send your followers to WhatsApp. They're gonna be, why not? The other part is gonna be an affirmation. Send all your followers to Instagram DM. Why? And the third one, I love it, because it's gonna be like, do you want to know how we got 5,000 free leads with one single Instagram post? Of course I want to know. And the last, that is always gonna work, is gonna be the secret Instagram hack I used to save $8,000 on lead generation. Those kind of tips are the ones that are working today. If someday you need like even more content idea, you don't know what to publish on Instagram, my team, again, they put together like a few ideas for 1 month full of content. You can do a screenshot here, because I know that it's hard to create and publish content, but let me tell you something. The only reason that I'm here today, it is because I post every day at least 3-5 stories on Instagram. I post 3 posts on my feed every single day. I'm sharing value. And just like to a goodbye, because you're here to build a platform. Let me tell you something. I had been a speaker for years. And this is something for what I always get like, hey, compliments. It is my dossier, my 1-page dossier as a speaker. So I bring it to you so you can replicate it, do it. As you can see, I put my bio, the social proof, the country that I have been doing speaking gigs, the social proof about my social network, my email marketing list. And then, of course, I have my signature talk, the one that I'm using always, and other talks that are similar that I can use. Of course, I have the brand that I have been working as a consultant and also as a speaker. So thank you so much for this opportunity, Pete. Thank you to all you guys that were here with this talk.
Hey, Vilma, hey, stop your screen share. Hey, guys, give some love for Vilma. Like, if you would see how much our Spanish-speaking backstage and Facebook page went up, like the numbers skyrocketed because of her being on the stage. She's got 486,000 followers. She generates sales every single day just through Instagram. I'm learning from her, because I want to be able to use my social media as a more powerful platform. And you don't feel sold to. And here's the cool thing. In the bronze level, she's got something in there that's helping you create all of your content for your year. Like, she's got something that will be translated in English and Spanish. So, Vilma, I know you're going to be with us here a little bit, but thank you so much. That was incredible. And I mean, the fact that that's your 3rd language, like, I'm so proud of you, because you're going to be doing a lot of speaking on a lot of big stages.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Guys, give it up for Vilma. Like, you want to know that you have a platform? You step on a stage like a Vilma, or I bet you the same will be true for Stormy tomorrow. I bet you the same will be true for Margarita on Monday. Like, you know you have a platform when the numbers go booming and skyrocketing. My team's like, what's happening here? What's happening here? Well, one of the Spanish-speaking VIPs, I'm speaking to you now. Let them know, Dolores, I'm speaking to them now. One of them gave the VIP link out. And so the Spanish VIP room is really full. So you guys get a treat today. And I'll make sure that I do that sometime next week for English speaking. We'll make sure that we give a backstage break and some grace to our English speaking backstage maybe next week. So Vilma, thank you for that. We've got 2 more speakers. You're going to want to stay around. This next speaker is going to be speaking on paid advertising. And our last speaker is the shark himself, Damon John, who I believe has built one of the most powerful brands out there, powerful personal brands. And he's going to be talking about what's important in building your personal brand. But hey, listen, how many of you on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube, in the Spanish-speaking rooms, how many of you are here because you saw an ad on Facebook? And how many of you, if you saw an ad on Facebook, write ad on Facebook, and if you say, Pete, ad, and I knew you, or ad, and I didn't know you, I want you to put ad, knew you, or ad, didn't know you. Ad, knew you, or ad, didn't know you. Knew you, didn't know you. Okay, we got a few of all. Well, one of the most powerful things is that you can get in front of your ideal buyers through paid advertising, through advertising on social platforms. And Rudy is one of those guys that is literally in masterminds with me. I had dinner with him and Vilma in Miami, so him and Vilma are good friends. And he's going to give you a simplistic framework and a simplistic model on how to use paid advertising to generate revenues, but also scale your message. And so guys, would y'all give it up for my friend, Mr. Rudy Maurer. Give it up for Rudy!
Hey guys, hey Pete, thank you. Excited to be here, excited to help you guys amplify your message, right? So as you've probably seen already from Vilma's talk, from other people's talk, the key is getting the message out there. And let me tell you, there is no better way than reaching more people, having more impact, having a global presence than through Facebook ads, because all it does is it takes any single piece of content, any single piece of your business or what you want to share as a passion of yours to impact the world, and it puts it on steroids. It takes anything you want to share and puts it on steroids. And if you do it the right way, it does it profitably. So not only can you have more impact, right? Not only can you have more presence around the world, but you can make a profit doing so. So what I want to share today is a very simple framework and some key factors in success that I've learned. 10 years I've been doing this. I built millions and millions of followers in my first business by the age of 25. And then I've gone on and I've worked with some of the biggest entrepreneurs in the world, ran 9-figure brands using this exact same framework to success. So let me share my screen. I'm going to pull up the slides and dive in. So you should be able to see my screen now. Okay, so how to have a global reach, more sales and influence with my 9-figure Facebook ad formula. So influence, what does that mean? Does it mean publishing a book, strategic partnership, expanding your network, getting more influence and authority, joining masterminds, speaking at masterminds on stage, or having a global reach on any platform? Like I said, it all comes down to influence and then amplifying that influence online. As Pete just mentioned, a lot of you are here today for what reason? You saw a Facebook ad or you saw an ad of some form, right? It's allowed me to go on and like I said, built millions and millions of followers. At this point, I've built 4 big businesses myself, published books, been published on the news and Entrepreneur, partnered with some of the biggest celebrities, influencers, and brands in the world. And a big part of my success comes down to Facebook ads. So when we focus on expanding our reach, one thing I really want to highlight and Facebook allows you to do is what's called omnipresence. So it's about being seen everywhere, okay? And one of the easiest ways you can all do this, okay, even with a tiny ad spend, even if you don't have thousands to spend on ads, is you take one piece of content, right? You've learned great content strategies over the course of this. You just take your key piece of content that you can already have found through posting it organically, and then you can amplify that piece of content and repurpose it and have omnipresence, which means anywhere you go, you're seen, right? Anywhere your customer or potential customer goes, they see you, okay? And that allows you to have this global brand presence, even if you're just starting out. And that's highly powerful because you might not want to spend the next 10 years building a legacy brand like a lot of the speakers have, right? Like I have. There's a way to fast track success here through Facebook ads where you achieve that omnipresence, okay? So very simply, you take your winning piece of content, okay? Or maybe it's 2 or 3 key pieces of content, what we would call cornerstone content. And then you can set small, tiny, small budgets, $5 a day, for example, if you want to go really small. And you can have that running on places like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Google. And then through Google, you can do a lot of third-party platforms too. And Facebook does a lot of third-party platforms. So if you ever see that person, that brand, that everywhere you go, that brand is there. That can be you too, okay? For as little as $5, $10, $15 a day. You don't have to spend crazy amounts to get global reach, okay? And that's why omnipresence marketing through Facebook ads is super important, and especially if you're trying to have that global reach. Next is visuals. My visuals, okay? How I present myself and my brands is not by mistake. It's done with a lot of intent around catching the eye, okay? And one of the keys to success in any form of advertising, whether it's an organic social media post, an Instagram post, whatever it is, it's about having that eye-catching visual. And the first 5 seconds of any video is super, super important. In fact, most people when they're browsing social media, they literally spend half a second. So the key to a successful post, the key to a successful ad comes down to the thumbnail, okay, which is the graphic you see, or the first 5 seconds of a video. Most people get this wrong and they actually spend no attention to the graphic. They spend a lot of time right in the post, or they spend very little attention to the first 5 seconds, and they spend all their effort on the next 5 minutes of the video, which most people skip. 99% skip because the first 5 seconds and the thumbnail was not key. So for Facebook ad success, a lot of people try and crack Facebook ads or think about running Facebook ads. The big mistake they make out the gate is not having the right creative, eye-catching creatives like this. My videos have been seen tens of millions of times because I focus so much on grabbing and pulling in the initial attention, okay? And then finally, referrals, okay? So once you've pulled someone in, the best way to expand your reach globally is through word of mouth. Your best customers are going to come from other customers. Most people forget this. It's a big, big part. I built one of my businesses to several millions of dollars just through referral marketing, okay? Referral marketing is a great way because it connects you with more like-minded customers or more high-level people to expand your network. So don't forget that too, okay? The next thing is with advertising, content quality is better than quantity, okay? And of course, once you get the quality knocked out, right? So people like Vilma, people like me, once you have that cadence, you have a team, you have a system, okay? And the quality is on par, then of course, quantity helps, posting daily, right? But to start, focus a lot on the actual quality. Like I said, the initial thumbnail, the first 5 seconds has to be dialed in. And then the big part of making a successful content strategy for Facebook or any type of successful ad, it comes down to the hook and the offer. What is the big hook that I'm going to teach today or to lure people in? If I'm going to go and sell a product, great. You've got to have a strong hook, okay? You've got to have a strong way to catch their attention quickly, and then a way to keep them entertained for the duration of that ad or the sales page or the webinar or whatever comes next, okay? So think about every time you shoot a video, every time you post, there's got to be intention behind it. It's got to have a strong hook or a strong offer that keeps people attracted and makes people want to click, okay? And that click can be to click to buy, click to follow, click to watch more of your content. It doesn't matter if you're selling or just growing and expanding your audience. You've got to have that strong offer and hook there to make people take action. Action is key, okay? And then ultimately, like I said, organic's great, but if you want to speed things up and collapse time, remember time is, as most people say, your most valuable asset. You can't get it back. You can achieve a lot organically, but if you want to collapse time, you need to pay to play and pay with Facebook ads. It has mass reach, right? A lot of you here today are on Facebook. A lot of you here today are maybe even watching on Facebook or found this through a Facebook ad. And just like we did here, we're here in front of you today through Facebook. You've got to pay to play to expand your reach and to reach more people faster and collapse time in your business, okay? A big part after that is growing a list. Who here has email? Who here has bought something from email? Who here found out about this via email, okay? Growing an email list is super important. A lot of you maybe are like, I don't have a list, or my list doesn't grow. Guess the best way to grow a list. I've grown over 250,000 people, 250,000 people through Facebook ads, right? Just through Facebook ads. Grown a big email list that makes me hundreds of thousands of dollars organically now with no spend, because I spent the time and energy and effort to initially grow that list. So for more impact, for more revenue, you've got to focus on growing the list, okay? And one thing to remember too, a buyer's list is much more valuable than an opt-in list, okay? So a lot of people get that confused, and then they go out and just try and get hundreds of free leads or hundreds of free opt-ins or email addresses. That's great, but you've really got to focus on actually growing a list that's engaged, a list that's going to buy, they're going to share your content, they're going to attend your webinars or your trainings or your videos, and they're going to refer more people to you. That comes from a high quality list, normally buyers, okay? And the best way to do that is this bottom point here. Focus your attention on acquiring front-end buyers. So what we mean by front-end buyers on Facebook is people that don't know you, okay? A lot of you here today, like Pete just said, who here today didn't know who I was, right? Pete asked that question. A lot of you here today, it's your first experience. Hopefully you're having a great time. You love this experience, right? You love the speakers he's brought together and everything we're sharing. So you're going to say next time Pete does something, I want to be involved in that. It was so great last time. I want to be involved again. That's what you need to achieve for your own brand. So have a think, how can you achieve that for your brand? How can you engage people, sell them something, or make them have a micro commitment and make it a pleasurable experience, high value, so they come back and go, I want to do more of that. I want to spend more time, energy, and money with that business. Okay, that's the key goal. So the next question is, how do I make Facebook work profitably? Big question, right? Because all of us here, if you could put $1,000 into Facebook and get $2,000 back, would you do it? The answer is yes. If you could put $10,000 into Facebook and make $20,000 back, would you do it? Probably the answer is yes, right? Now, the problem is Facebook these days isn't quite that simple. 5 years ago, you used to be able to run a product or a funnel or an ad and spend $1,000, and if it was good, make $2,000 back. It's a lot more competitive these days. So if you look at the stats and the data here, okay, this, I want to give you an example, real life scenario. If you spend $5,000, you get 20 people buy your product, and you actually lose $200 on every single sale. Would any of you do that? Most of you are shaking your head right now. You're saying, no way would I spend $5,000 and only make $1,000 back. No way would I lose $4,000. But the key part that's going to be critical in your success as an entrepreneur or in business, right, and to make more impact is understanding what we call lifetime value. And that's what I want to share for the last half of this. And you might say, why is that related to Facebook ad success? Actually, it's everything to do with Facebook ad success. Because if you don't have this, then every time you spend $1 on Facebook, you won't make as much back, okay? So this second scenario here, where you now see the full story of things, is if you spend $5,000, you make only maybe $1,000 back on day one, but then they go through what we call an ascension model, right? An lifetime value system. You actually might make $10,000, $20,000 back from that initial $5,000. But the problem for most people trying to use any form of advertising, if you've used adverts in any form before, Google, YouTube, Facebook, direct mail, TV, you probably were so focused on putting $1 in, getting $2 back, and it didn't work. And it's because you've got to shift your focus to what's called lifetime value these days. How do I put $1 in and make $5 back over 30 days? That's the better question to ask. That's the way you make Facebook successful and scale it to have a global impact, okay? So I'm gonna show you how that works here. So as you can see here, right, there's more complexity to just running one ad to one image, for example, okay? But I'm not gonna break down the whole thing. I just wanna show you guys, right, if you're trying to grow a global impact and trying to reach more people, you need lots of different assets available. You need lots of different tracks available or lots of different content systems. So if you run ads, for example, to one landing page, to one website, to one video, that's great. But the way you make a lot more money and have a lot more impact and scale your business is if there becomes a spider's web, kind of what you're probably seeing on this screen, of all the different ways to basically ascend someone and put them in your ecosystem. So take a photo, screenshot this. I could spend an hour just training you on this, but this is the roadmap to success at scale. This is what a lot of my 7-8 figure clients, even my 9-figure, $100 million plus companies are doing, where they create a whole ecosystem or database where they put $1 in Facebook, they acquire a customer, and then that customer stays with them for life. That's really the key to global impact, okay? So like I said, finally, the key part to leave you guys with trying to run any business, okay, is the data and the lifetime value that you get from every customer is so important, okay? You can't just run Facebook ads and expect an ROI. It's not gonna happen anymore, okay? Very lucky if you do. Most of you have to run Facebook ads to your business, to your course, to your content, whatever you're gonna do, okay? And I really recommend you do. Don't be scared off by not doing it, okay? Because it's so key to growing fast, but you need to run that And then you need to actually track what happens after. You need to track how much do you spend? How much do you make back on day 1? How much do you make back on day 30? How much is your cost per click? So there's key data points, okay? And then also lifetime value, okay? So how much do I make back, like I said, over 30 days, over 60 days, over 90 days? And that is the key to success for a lot of these 10 million, 50 million, $100 million businesses or entrepreneurs that you guys follow, you guys look up to, many of that you've probably learned from over the course of the week, okay? Is they have a big ecosystem built out for their business and their brand. And you can either start that today, or you can wait 5 years like a lot of us did to slowly build that, right? And of course, you're here today to learn from experts, to learn from people that have been there, done that, maybe done it for 10 or 20 years, right? And a lot of the people here would tell you if they could go back in time, they wish they had developed that ecosystem faster to help and impact more people when the person comes through the front door, okay? So just to wrap up, why is lifetime value key? Why is Rudy teaching lifetime value, what we call LTV, when he's talking about Facebook ads? Because ultimately LTV is so important because it defines your performance as a business. If you can make more money for every single lead, every single follower, every single person that emails you, or every single front-end customer, your business is going to grow exponentially, okay? It's how you set what we call CPA. So how much you pay to acquire a customer, how much you pay per click, how much you pay per lead. The more you can make from every engagement, the bigger your business gets, right? It's how we set commissions, how we pay our team, how we pay our sales team as we grow. It's how we determine ROI, return on investment, okay? The more you can make over time, the bigger your ROI gets, which means you put $1 in, hopefully over 30, 60, 90 days, you make $5 back instead of the $1 in, $2 out scenario, right? Who here would sooner put $1 in and make $5 back over 30 days versus $1 in and making $2 back right away? The smart business owner would take the $1 in, the $5 back every day of the week because they know the LTV, which is what I'm teaching here, is way higher, right? It's how you unlock scale. So a lot of you maybe already have businesses, you've tried ads, you have social media, you're trying to grow and impact more people, right? But to really unlock scale, you need this ascension model. You need this way to engage people and then keep them coming back, to build that global impact, right? To help more people and to keep them in your database, in your ecosystem, so they come back again and again and again, every month, every year, right? And it also forces you to think longer term. If you look at most successful billionaires, right? They're not just thinking about what's happening today. They're also thinking what's happening over the next 5 years. How do they grow the business for the next 5 years? And that's what I want you guys to understand, that about growing a business, especially through paid advertising, isn't what you put in today and get back tomorrow. It's what you put in today and what it can build over the course of a year, right? Especially over the course of 30, 60, and 90 days, okay? And ultimately, it makes you better at business because what's the number one thing to getting a customer to return? It's offering a good product or service. It's offering good content, right? It's leaving a good impression so they actually want to come back and do more business with you. And really, that's the trick to building a business, right? The trick to building a business is having a world-class product or service, or a world-class offer, or offering world-class content. So I'll finish there and leave you with that. That really the key, you'll learn a lot this week, but really the key is to build a world-class product and offer and service, because then when you do that, everything else you do, everything else you've learned is just going to compound and grow faster.
Rudy, I love that, man. Hey, guys, give it up for Rudy. Give it up for Rudy. Listen, I want you to know this about Rudy. Like, here's the cool combo between Vilma and Rudy. Rudy is actually running ads right now to acquire companies, like big companies right now, that he's doing that in partnership with like Ty Lopez and several others. So what I want you to know is Vilma's talking about how to organically build your platform. Rudy's talking about how to run paid ads to build your platform. Some of you might or might not be ready for that, but this is part of your toolbox that you have now, because the sooner you can get started on it, the better. Like, we spent high 6 figures, it's going to be close to low 7 figures on paid media for the platform tour to get in front of all of you that said you didn't know us a week ago or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And so I'm excited for what Rudy shared. Rudy, I know you'll be backstage with us. We're going to keep rocking and rolling. So give it up for Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. Hey, listen, if you haven't shared yet, we've got literally, this is reaching millions of people. We've got thousands of people on live right now across all channels. You want to share this. This gentleman we're about to bring up to bring us to the home stretch is a brilliant man, a kind man, a generous man. What he just did yesterday for Black entrepreneurs all across the world is so inspiring to me. He's my favorite shark. He's the people shark. He knows how to build a personal brand. He knows how to build a platform. He is unbelievable, incredible guy. I get the opportunity to put him on several stages and have gotten to learn from him, and I'm glad to call him a friend. And so I want you guys to share this everywhere right now. It's streaming like 20 different places right now. I want you guys, the best human being on the earth is what Ginger said. Pretty unbelievable. I want you to welcome the Platform Tour. Wake up, Dan, let's go. Welcome to Platform Tour, the People Shark, Mr. Damon John. Give it up for Damon.
What an intro. I've never had an intro like that, man. I'm humbled and embarrassed.
And embarrassed. What's the embarrassing part?
When people are talking about you, man, and with such energy and such love and such passion, man, it's humbling, man. But thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who's here.
Damon, I'm stoked to have you. First off, congratulations what you pulled off yesterday. Sometimes people talk about man, is this when people are making money, it's bigger than the money, at some point it becomes even bigger than the money, right, Damon? When is that shift for people?
Well, absolutely. I mean, what you're talking about is Black Entrepreneurs Day, and you were definitely somebody who stepped in to help us. We gave away $250,000 worth of grants, and this is the second year we did it. But yeah, it's bigger than money. Usually money is just something that comes after something that you really love and a drive and a passion of what you're doing. That's when you start making the money. So no matter what level you get to, you're still going to have other interests in life, other than money.
Wow. You gave out $250,000 in grants. What does that mean? What does that look like?
Well, there were 10 grant winners of $25,000 apiece, and these people need the money. They need the education also. But like on Shark Tank, listen, we're taking a percentage of your company, right? But when you give away grants, you're giving away money that could be that first startup capital. That could be obviously what's keeping the doors open throughout these challenging times that we're having right now as we come out of things. It can be the money that you go and educate yourself on the platforms like this and what you're doing now, and then you invested into advertising and marketing to bring attention to who you are.
So 10 business owners got funded grants yesterday.
Yeah.
Is it too late to fund an 11th one?
Is it too late to fund an 11th one? As of these grants, no, but we're going to be doing it again next year. I mean, this is the second year, so we were already at $500,000 worth of grants given away.
So why don't you count us on for one whenever the next one we can fund? We want to fund one of them, a grant, Damon.
You are the man. We will do that next year. I definitely appreciate it.
Hey, Damon, the thing that I'm fighting for this week, just so you know, and I know you and I will be together in a few weeks, but the thing I'm fighting for is, quite frankly, like this week, you inspired me to see you highlighting different businesses, local small businesses in New York, and the things that you highlight, Black entrepreneurs. Like I have a very diverse family. I have 2 Black sisters, a Mexican sister, a white mom, a Mexican dad, a Black stepdad. So I love what you're standing for with Black Entrepreneur Day. And what I'm fighting for this week, so you know, is I'm tired of the people that are controlling platforms and the microphones with all of the negativity, the divisiveness, the fear. I believe it's time for us to bring a whole lot more positivity into this world. And the only way you do that really is if you build a platform, because if not, you're just talking to yourself, talking to your mirror. So what's the importance of building a platform mean to you?
Absolutely. You want to be in control of the, of what you're saying, how people narrate their lives. And you're right. And the unfortunate part is it's just a small portion, believe it or not. It's a very small portion of people that are spreading the negativity, but they're spreading it in such volume and they are creating waves. I mean, it's probably about 10%. Then you got another 10% who are absolutely super positive. And then you got the 80% right in the middle who are like, should I jump in? Should I say something? It'll work its way out. I'm not sure. I don't want to insult people. I don't want to be canceled. And that's why you need a platform, because there's places where these people need to go to know that it's not that people of all colors come together and have stopped or who fought in the Civil War, civil rights, or apartheid, or marched in the streets last year, coming together over injustices. And that's why you definitely need to create your own platform so you can communicate. I didn't have that liberty when I was starting FUBU. But FUBU was very powerful. But I used to have to be at the mercy of taking out an advertisement, or if somebody said something crazy about FUBU, how was I going to combat that? Well, produce a commercial and maybe it'll air, and 2 months later, people forgotten already, and the whatever was said is already stuck in people's minds, and you can't correct it. But now you can correct it. There's so many different ways to build platforms and talk directly to your customer and not let it be interpreted another way by other people.
Wow. It's incredible. What are you seeing as the most powerful ways, or the powerful things right now that people should be doing? Like yesterday, Black Entrepreneur Day reached millions of people, like millions of people. What are the things that you think, because you did it the hard knock way, bro. Like you said, you might have to wait for a commercial to air for 2 months. Like you can do it today. Like what's the things that you would really say to people are important pieces to do today?
Get out and do it. It's authenticity. Do not do anything because you feel that that's what people want to see and or is going to make you look good, because people can also see through it and through you. But it has to come from a place of authenticity. And you don't have to care about how many people like it or dislike it. People are still watching you. They're definitely still watching you. And then also, you follow people back the way they follow you. You give them the same value and the same respect that they give you. You are going to create an army of ambassadors that are absolutely untouchable. You know what I mean? That's how you grow your businesses. And I did a post the other day, said something of, true leaders don't create followers, they create other leaders. And you share and be of service. When you are of service on any platform you are, and unfortunately, some people are like that in a negative way, but you can do it in a positive way. When you're of service, people want to fight for you. People really want to get behind people who are of service, and always look at everybody as your customer. Your friends are your customer, your employees are your customer, your boss is your customer, and of course, your customer is your customer, right? And when you are of service, people want to fight for you.
Man, look at everybody as your customer, guys. Like that's huge it's big for me to hear today. One of the things I think you've done an incredible job with FUBU, and you still continue to do today, is with the personal brand. Like I think you understand how to really build a personal brand. And when you build a personal brand, Ryan, our good friend Ryan Dice, both of us said, Pete, when you have a personal brand and you have a platform, you have control. Like you have control, because like you can attract customers even if the world's going in disarray and the economy's down. When you build a personal brand, you build a platform, you have control. Damon, what are the elements that are important to really building a personal brand? Because there's so much stuff out there. I got to build a website. I got to have a logo. I got to have a brand. I got to have this. I got to have that. What does Damon John think about? Because I think a lot of people would say you're one of the best in the world in building personal brands.
And you know what? And I thank you. I don't believe so, but I do know that the most critical thing about building a personal brand is really hacking yourself and knowing your why, and really understanding why are you doing something. You know, there are a lot of people that they do things not because they want to do it, because they feel society wants them to do it, or maybe their parents always dreamed of them doing something, or maybe their parents were not good people to them and they want to prove them wrong, and they're doing it for the wrong reasons. Same thing happens when I invest in a lot of companies. Sometimes I invest in a company and I think this person wants to change the world when that person just wants to see themselves on billboards. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be famous, but then don't start a different company for a wrong reason if you want to be famous. And the whole thing about building a personal brand is, here's the key to building a personal brand. And here's the key to generally in life. Once you know your why, then you got to set goals. What are the goals? Are you going to, if you're going to be a television personality, are you going to talk into this camera every day and give valuable information? 2 hours a day, 7 hours a day, set the goals, right? And once you know your goals, then you know where to get inspiration and information. You're only going to learn through two different aspects of life. You're either going to learn through your mistakes or your mentors. And mentors can come as a Ryan Dice, or as a book, or as a person who's walking down the street, or a small business owner. But if you don't know your why, then you cannot set the right goals. Because if you set the wrong goals, well, then you're going out to get the wrong information. And that's exactly how it is when you build a personal brand. You've got to do a lot of reflecting. You know, Pete, I always say you got to be able to put yourself in 2 to 5 words, or even if it's 10 words. Apple think different, Nike just do it, FUBU for us, by us. Because once you know your 2 to 5 words and what you stand for, well, then you walk into the room, you don't leave it up to other people to interpret it. Whew. You've already shared what your 2 to 5 words, and where are the people seeing those 2 to 5 words? Every single time that you pick this thing up, every single time you dress, every single time you walk into a room. Those are your 2 to 5 words. And if you stay with that mantra, you will grow in the way that that brand exists. Now, you can shift too. You know, first my brand was, creating quality products, FUBU, for us, by us, right? Then my brand moved into acquiring new companies, right? That's why I acquired Coogee and Atonic and all that. Then my brand came to be inspiring other entrepreneurs. That's why I started writing books. And then I became a shark. Right? My brand has changed over the years. But when I was on that brand for that moment, I was focused. When I was on FUBU, I was focused. When I was on acquiring other companies, because FUBU was slowing down and I needed to know more about angel investing, so I don't need to be the smartest person in the room. I can invest in other young people, like the people watching here. I can invest in your dream and we can make money together. I needed to know that world. And I was on point with that brand, and then going into books and then going into television.
Dude, that's so good. That gives us permission, bro, because sometimes we try to figure out, like, what's this one thing we're gonna do for the rest of our life? But the reality is, Damon, I found myself reinvented 2 or 3 times just in the last 5 years of my business. But we're trying to think that we have to figure it all out for life. No, just figure it out for today, and it will evolve, and it will up-level, and new passions and new whys come. And I think everybody needs to hear that today, because they're thinking they got to pick the single thing, but you just shared 4 different evolutions of your business.
Yeah, we're human beings. We're complex people, right? And there's some things that we do for passion. There's some things we do for joy. There's some things we do to educate ourselves. There's some things we do to fight against what we feel is unfair or unjust. There's some things we do to solve problems that we figure somebody else is going to solve, but they didn't. So we're doing it ourselves. That we are complex individuals, but everybody understands that. Nobody here wants to be held, be pigeon-held. You're only this, you're only that. Nobody wants to do that. So once you start understanding how you just follow your passion and put some kind of goals with it and educate yourself, you'll find yourself. It doesn't happen overnight. And a lot of people think that entrepreneurs are just, or people in business and people who are creative are just fly by the seat of their pants people. No, we usually take more inventory than anybody, especially when you're broke. You know you got this amount of money. You know you got this amount of time. You know that you can make. I remember my first couple of years in business, I didn't have any money. So what I promised myself, I was going to make 50 calls a day. For the first 6 months, I'm going to make 50 calls a day. So now I know what I want to do is in fashion, right? So that's my why. I'm going to make 50 calls a day. That's my goal. And then I started to educate myself on who I'm going to call out of those 50 calls. So every day, 10 manufacturers, 10 clothing stores, 10 celebrities / record labels, so I can try to find out this and that, and 10 other like distribution warehouses. By the time I got to 6 months, those calls had compounded, and all the people that said no were starting to say yes, because I called them a bunch of times over 6 months. That's all I had as a resource, was the time to make 50 calls. You can start with anything that you want, as long as you know what you want to do and you allocate the time and the energy to do it, and you don't need any excuses. So bottom line, I don't want people to think you need to have money, because I got to tell you, 65% of the world's top wealthiest people on Forbes lists are self-made men and women. That means they had zero. They didn't have any money. But let's talk about the ones that had money. 65% of lotto winners and 65% of athletes are bankrupt 3 years after leaving the league or winning the lotto. That means money did not help them. Wow. So everybody here can make 50 calls a day.
Wow, dude, that's so good. You just said something, no, I love that. So folks, what is the action that you're gonna take? Like, we're talking about so many things this week, and we've got the shark here. Like, what is the thing that you're going to do? Like on Tuesday, we're not leaving here. You got 40 nuggets from 40 amazing speakers, but on Tuesday, we're gonna choose a couple. Because if you don't take action, like nothing happens, but you gotta choose a couple. He chose 50 calls. He knew his why. He chose 50 calls of a goal, and that helped him begin to start down the track. But that's not what you see. You see him on TV today, but you don't see the struggle and the wrestling of that grind of 50 calls. I love that, Damon. It's incredible. I know you get asked this. I'm gonna have a fun question that just popped up, and I think we're gonna have some fun with it. But the first question is, you just talked about investing in companies. You're doing that every week. We see you on national television. Like, what is it that is important for you? Like, one of the cool things for me in 2020, Damon, is I didn't get the chance to tell you this, but I got my first offer, legitimate offer, due diligence offer on my company. And I passed on it because I think that there's a little bit more on the EBIT, on the multiple that can happen. But it was such an incredible feeling, like just to know that somebody actually cared to make that offer. Like for you, what do you look for in businesses and the people that you invest in? Because I think if people can wrap their minds around that, it will help them understand what's important to not just look for investors, but to be attractive to customers and to be attractive to employees and so on. What do you look for in who you invest in?
I look for the person. I look for the person running the company. I look that they are problem solvers. I look that they have failed a bunch of times and they still have the passion and drive to keep moving this thing forward. So it's coming from a real place. I look that they know their customer and they're obsessed with their customer and they want to keep adding value to their customer so that hopefully if they get money, they're not going to just leave, right? Because they have a passion and a drive. And I look that we're gonna have a good time together. We're gonna learn together, and no matter what, if this business works out or not, we're gonna start another business together. Because there's different. I don't have to listen. If I like your sponge or your product, I don't have to buy the company. I just buy one. If I want to invest in a lot of smart people that I don't ever have to talk to, well, I send my money over to the market. Steve Jobs or Elon Musk doesn't ask. Don't call me up and ask how to fix a car or a computer. So if I'm going to deal with somebody and invest in them, I want to know that we collectively are going to get together. We're going to have a good time. We're going to make some change, make some money, keep learning together. And this is just the beginning of a really amazing relationship.
I love that. I'm going to have some fun with this one. I got just a couple of questions and then we'll go backstage. So the thing that you respect, there's a couple of somebody, Grant gave you a lot of love, gave you some love yesterday. He was on here yesterday and Sarah was on here on Tuesday. What is the thing that you respect in the different sharks on Shark Tank? Like if you said Mark, you said Barbara, you said Robert, like what is the thing that you see in them that, man, that's a superpower, a super genius, or a thing that you really respect in them as an entrepreneur?
You know, Robert is a very optimistic entrepreneur, and he likes to take challenges in life, and he lights up the room. I mean, you can, it comes across on the show. But he's a hardworking man. He's very hardworking and he knows his business, cybersecurity, which is obviously the hot topic today, right? So that's what I love about him. Cuban is a beers and chips kind of guy, and he's dedicated. He's on the floor with his players, and he's on the floor at Shark Tank, and he's dedicated. You know, when the show was first having this problem, the first 3 years, because people didn't know what the show was. A lot of the millionaires and billionaires that we know today said I wouldn't be on that show. They wouldn't be on that show because they didn't know, America didn't necessarily know Damon John at the level that they like. Cuban said, as long as this show is educating families and our future entrepreneurs are watching this, our little 10 years old and 15-year-old, he said, I don't care. I'm going to get on that show. And that's why the shows actually existed, because then he was able to go on and promote it on Jimmy Kimmel and all these other type of shows. So very beers and chips kind of guy, very, very dedicated. Barbara is a marketing genius. She has no filter, but she can think of marketing ideas like out of the just pull it out of the sky. Me, I'm a pretty similar, pretty simple. I go get a celebrity or a famous person, I put the crap on them or I get them to do stuff. You know, I got my one trick pony thing. I'm cool with it and I'm happy. It's gotten me where I am. Barbara will create something out of nowhere. Kevin O'Leary, really, he's a genius when it comes to numbers. He's a financial whiz. He's disciplined. He's a great guy behind the scenes, but he's a disciplined person. And Lori, she understands manufacturing. She knows how to bring a product to life at an affordable cost. Out of the top 20 best-selling products in Shark Tank history, Lori has 11 of them now. So, I got a huge amount of respect for all of my fellow Sharks.
What about Mr. Grant yesterday? What do you respect about just like what he's created as an entrepreneur? What's the thing you see in him?
Grant is a people person, but he just gives it to you raw. And, you need it like that. He's like another version of Mr. Wonderful. But he also will give you a lesson in 10 different ways. He'll be able to present a lesson for you to learn. If you didn't learn it this way, he's going to show it to you this way. You didn't learn it this way, he's going to show it to you this way. Grant loves to teach. Very, very passionate. Does he do it in certain lavish ways? He does, but also he does that to grab your attention. And then it's kind of like the bait and switch. All right, I showed you this shiny object, but this is what you really have to do to acquire this object. This object's not important. This is important. And that's what I love about Grant.
It's the whole adage of give them what they want and sell them what they need, right? Like
that's right.
He knows they don't need that plane, but he knows that's what's going to get them in the funnel, right?
100%.
Hey guys, the thing that I would say, and I don't have as much experience as everybody, but the thing that I love about this guy behind me, and I want to get out of the way, the thing I love most about him is that I know it's the coin, the people's shark, but on Sunday, I'm going to talk in detail about the number one thing that I believe is critical to building your platform and your business, and that's actually caring about the people in a deep and committed way. And so one of the things that, locker room talk or when Damon's not around, that he cares about people. He cares about Black Entrepreneur Day today or yesterday. He said, Pete, I want to be there with you. Like, I'm going to come give my time. I know what you're up to. He cares about I just had him with the client. My client said that was the greatest experience I've ever had with a speaker. Wow. Like that stuff matters. The people matter. When the people feel taken care of and loved and nurtured, if you're not here on Sunday, I'm going to go deeper into it. But when that happens, dude, the rest takes care of itself. Like it really does. The money comes flowing in. Everything else takes care of itself. So that's what I love about Damon is I know that's a title, but it's actually who he is behind the curtain too, guys. So I love that about you, Damon.
Thank you, brother.
Hey, Damon, last two questions and kind of final thoughts to front stage. Lots of parents here. I've got a 13, 11, 8, and 2-year-old. And I love the mentality that you and Mark have to say, we've got to invest in them because they're not being taught those things necessarily in traditional education. That's the truth. Like, what's the biggest encouragement that you give to parents? Because you're a father too of, I think 3, right? Three beautiful all girls, yeah. Right? All girls.
Yeah.
So what's your advice to the parents in the best ways that we can pass that off to them too?
You got to, the parents, the challenging part with a lot of parents is they don't have financial intelligence as well. But you have to have financial intelligence. You have to start getting the curriculums or the books around and slowly start learning collectively too. Why not? It's not going to hurt, right? Learning about it because you've got to remember money. So a lot of people think that maybe if they work hard and they make a lot of money that they'll be okay, but they're not necessarily going to be okay. It's not how much you make, it's how much you retain. And if you don't understand how money works, well, then you can go to school all you want and you can make a lot of money and then you could end up being like one of those lotto winners or those athletes. And nothing wrong with being an athlete. Trust me, they practice for, half their lives to be the best physical specimen running plays. I got a huge amount of respect for people who will get to the top of their field no matter what it is. But they don't have financial intelligence because the kids, we're not taught financial intelligence in school. I always say that we need to be teaching our kids this because, 50% of the kids or kids watching today or kids that are graduating today, 50% of them will retire with a job title that doesn't actually exist today. So if you're going to go out and get $400,000 worth of student debt for a job that you're not even sure that you're going to want, and then you're going to have to be paying that off until you're 50 years old, then you're just living to work at that point. Think about it right now. If somebody would have said, Peter, 20 years ago to one of us, you're going to be a drone operator or a pay-per-click expert or a Google AdWords person or a social media expert or a TikTok, influencer, we'd say, what are you talking about? Right. And, so I basically say the best thing that I can tell parents to do is learn financial intelligence with your kids. Start off with the simplest books, and and get them into the mind frame of understanding that education is something that never stops. I mean, I put it on my social media the other day. I was shocked that business owners didn't know that the IRS passed the fact that you could write off 100% of your business meals now, you know, in restaurants, right? So think about how many people for the, you know, and it ends in 2022, at the end of 2022. Think about how many hundreds or even thousands of dollars people would spend at restaurants that could have written off 100% of that. That information wasn't around 2 years ago because that law was just passed. But I keep educating myself on finances and what's out there in the world. And you know, my brain keeps growing. And I think the young man was talking about billionaires. One thing I love to tell you about billionaires that I know. Billionaires generally, their main way they save their money or make money is they look at new tax codes and new things happening where you can legally take advantage of tax codes. Why? Well, if you're going to pay $200 million in taxes this year, well, do you start a new business and try to make $200 million or make $100 million? Or do you save $100 million worth of taxes because you've made the money already? You want to go out and try to risk everything to start a new business, or you want to save what you already have? Now, we're talking about billionaires. Somebody making $50,000 right now can do the same exact thing. Yeah. Instead of paying $22,000, $25,000 in taxes, maybe you only have to pay 15. What do you do with that 10? And imagine if you took that 10 over 5 years and kept investing it in the market, what that 10 would be. Wow. It would be 50, and then it would probably be 150 or 200. You just have the down payment for your house or your whole house.
Financial literacy, man, that is huge. Because if you can teach them that, a lot of the other stuff is mechanical. A lot of the starting a business is mechanical, but that's not mechanical. That's like really wisdom and knowledge. I love that. Damon, I know that you invest in mentors, and I know some incredible mentors. I know Ryan's been a guy, and I know Jay Abraham's a guy. Talk about the importance of investing in mentors and just some of the key lessons that you've learned in your life from mentors before we do our final thoughts.
Yeah, listen, I've learned so much over Ryan. I learned from my fellow Sharks. I learned from Jay Abraham. I have even reverse mentors. Some of the young kids in my company, they come up, they were digital natives. It's not something that I was familiar with coming up in my life. And I can give them the fundamentals of business or go through other life hacks with them. And they can teach me about how to communicate at the speed of lightning, you know, with this thing right here. So there's always reverse mentorship. Mentors are critical. You cannot have enough. Sometimes you'll outgrow your mentors, and sometimes you'll have to start mentoring your mentor. And hopefully that works out as well. But you have to have as many mentors as you can. And you don't have to go and look for a Damon John or Peter Vargas all the time. You can look right there in your neighborhood. If you want to learn about business, you know what? Mentors are often disguised. They're disguised as teachers. They're disguised as people at the church. They're disguised as small business owners who've been in business for 20 years and they managed to fight inflation and competition and technology changes. You don't need to always think that the mentors have to come from this grandiose place. And mentors will teach you a lot of things, but in business, you know, mentors is simple in business. Mentors are generally going to do three things in business. They're going to tell you not to take in capital too soon, not to spread yourself too quick, and not to grow too fast. That's the basic core of it. Now you got to go deeper into exactly what do they mean by that. And, that's what business mentors are going to do. Jay Abraham has taught me so many ways to basically think about 10 other ways to create income or 10 other ways to add value to somebody. He just makes my mind just melts, as we all know when we talk to Jay Abraham, a lot of big words there. But, and Ryan, of course, talking about how to market, talking about how to transition a person from this place in their life to this place in their life, whether it's with a salty snack called Cheetos because they want this craving, or it's a financial instrument. It's turning a millionaire into a billionaire and making their money work for them instead of them working for their money. So, you can learn anything from so many different mentors.
I love that. Damon, before we go backstage, just for about 10 minutes with some of those who have donated and given back to the charities we're supporting this week, which we're trying to raise $1 million. We're at hundreds of thousands of dollars. And so Wednesday we'll have that final tally, which I'm excited about, as they commit to building their platforms in 2022 and beyond. What's the biggest, final thoughts of wisdom that you would give to the entire general public that's watching right now? As
they're trying to build their platforms, or just general thoughts?
Yeah, just kind of your final thoughts.
The world is changing. The world is changing extremely fast, and COVID has only just sped up what was inevitable. Whether it is people who are over leveraged or people who weren't educating themselves, they're out of business now. Other people who were waiting for this time because they were investing in themselves or they were working on somebody else's dream and they figured out now, listen, I'm going to work on my own dream. Now they're doing really well. But no matter what, as I say about the people Shark, the people are more important than the number. Always make sure as you're building, you are being of service. I already mentioned it earlier, but now with everything going on in the world and all these heightened sensibilities that people have because of so many things going on, people want to feel important. When you make somebody feel important, all this technology doesn't matter. They will fight for you until the end of time. And when you have all this good stuff invested in people, you know we live in a cancel culture. There's going to be somebody who's going to misinterpret something you said or come after you. When you build an army of people that feel special because you make them feel special, you can't be canceled. They will have your back. So that's the most critical thing that I could tell anybody now, no matter what technology comes out, no matter what the number looks like, trust people and also trust your gut. I got to tell you, earlier on in my career, I didn't trust my gut. People said, oh, look at that person. They look so great. Or look at these numbers. Or you're the man. You can invest in that. You got that. Every time I didn't trust my gut, 10 times, if I invested in something or did something I didn't trust my gut, 8 times I would fail miserably. And the other 2 times that I may have made it out of there unscathed, I was like, thank God. Trust your gut, invest in people. Those are the biggest things you can do. And of course, keep educating yourself. Keep constantly educating yourself.
Wow, that's incredible. Hey guys, will y'all, everybody on the front stage, give it up for Mr. Damon John. Give it up for Damon. Damon will be going backstage in 2 minutes here, just for about 10 minutes. We'll be backstage with Damon for 10 minutes. Guys, I want to kind of keep things moving because I want to get backstage with him. What an incredible thing. Like people, take care of people, invest in people, trust your gut. And invest in yourself. Like that's what he said. Final thoughts, parting thoughts. And I also gave you the framework of things that he sees in his peers and his friends, the thing that he sees in them that he loves. Go take those things and become more of that. That was the reason. I know what I see in Damon. I wanted to see what Damon saw in other people. Go take that framework and become more of that. And watch what begins to happen as you build your platform. And so guys, we are committed to helping you build your platform, control the microphone, and changing your world. And our homework assignment winner from yesterday was Sonia Daniels. I love it. She said, as an enthusiastic and motivated woman of God with experience in sales and marketing, a solid background in various academic environments, and a commitment to achieving organizational goals, I'm committed to empowering women of every nationality to live a life of purpose and to educate her to know her worth through the Word of God. I plan to promote the mission in 4 ways: by creating a YouTube channel, by bringing back my Beauty for Ashes show, by grow, gain, and give through my business. I will promote my book through workshops and seminars. Sisters of every nationality, living on purpose. Sonia Austin Daniels, you are our homework winner from yesterday. You are our homework winner from yesterday. Thank you for that. You are the winner. Verlisha Hughes, you are also one of the winners. And Kevin Fleming, you are also one of our winners. My question to you today, homework, because we're day 5. We got 2 more days and then we got the bonus day. 2 more days and then we got the bonus day. Is what is your commitment in your mentors from next year? Like in this next year, what are you committed to in your mentors, with your mentors? One of the biggest reasons I have propelled my platform is because of the mentors in my life that I get to be at the table with. Like, what are you committed to in investing in yourself and investing in mentors? Like, I'm asking you that. Like, make that commitment vocal. A lot of you already have some great mentors, but make that vocal. Like, make a commitment. Make a commitment. Damon talked about people. He talked about trusting your gut, and he talked about investing in yourself. Like, maybe use that as a framework, and I want you to post in the group. I want you to post in the group. We got some Beats headphones for tomorrow, some strategy sessions for tomorrow. Just as a reminder, 6 pillars to building your platform. And literally today, every speaker covered those 6 pillars to building your platform. Tomorrow, we'll have 7 speakers in Dallas as I'm live from the Gaylord Texan in Dallas with an organization that's a $500 million organization that's bringing me in to speak. I'm going to speak in the morning, and my team's got a studio set up at the Gaylord Texan where I'll have 7 phenomenal speakers tomorrow. Listen, I want to remind you, hey, Vilma's visibility course is as part of the package as well. But listen, I want you to go to platformtourcares.com. Go to platformtourcares.com. Do you realize that I have brought you 35 different mentors that have donated one of their core signature products back to the bronze, silver, and gold levels? You're getting 35 mentors. 35 mentors. And today, guys, we've got the bronze, the silver, and the gold packages that continue to expand and expand and expand. We've got a 1 pay and we've got 2 pays. So make sure you go to platformtourcares.com, platformtourcares.com. These prices are going up on on Sunday night. These packages are going away on Wednesday because the speakers have donated it till Wednesday. Platformtourcares.com, platformtourcares.com. I am excited. 100% of these profits going back to charity. We've got a goal of $1 million, but these are 35 mentors that you're going to have lifetime access to. Why do you say 35? Because our gold package has 35 resources on different topics to help you build your platform. And you don't have to incorporate all of those at one time, because what you're going to get at Platform Live is us building out your platform strategic plan for 2022. And then you're going to have lifetime access to all of these digital mentors, all of these digital resources. And you're going to get to pick and choose the thing that's in alignment with the plan that you have for 2022, and still have all of those others forever. 35 mentors, just like that, just like that. So guys, tomorrow we've got Garrett White, we've got Jesse Ecker, we've got Julie Stowen, we've got Trent Shelton, we've got Jack Fallon and John Licari, Stormy Wellington and Brad Sumrock. 4 out of these 7 will be live with me from Dallas, tomorrow. So make sure that you're with us tomorrow. I cannot wait. We've got tomorrow, we've got Sunday, and then on Monday, it's our big Tim Tebow, Bethany Hamilton here with us on Sunday. Monday, we have our bonus day. And then Tuesday, we will do the recap of the entire tour in 60 minutes. Go to platformtourcares.com. I will see you live tomorrow from Dallas, and I will be coming to you from Dallas tomorrow with several